Hello everyone, welcome to Rob's Gaming Table. I'm Rob.
I'm Mel.
And you might remember us from previous dungeon crawling campaign playthrough series like Gloomhaven, Frosthaven, Zombicide, Sword and Sorcery, Mansion of Madness 2nd Edition, Imperial Assault, Descent, Legends of the Dark. There's more. Lord of the Rings, Journeys to Middle-earth.
These are off the top of your head?
Dungeons and Dragons, the board game series of bunch of those ones. I don't know what they're all called, I forget, but something with a drizzt in the name. Yeah, many of those. And here's another one for you. If you're new to the channel, we've played all those games before. And yeah, we're playing Chronicles of Drunagor. Full disclosure, this game was provided by these folks, scrolling by here, who click the join button down below, or support us on Patreon by giving us their support. And against their best wishes, we bought this game off crowdfunding. They had no idea we were going to do that, so thanks for bringing this game to them. But yeah, whether you like it or not, we're going to play it. We've had this game for a little bit. Mel painted it. That took a little bit. But then we got some other games. We played those instead, like Iridia. We played. Oh, another one that's in that list, Fateforge, Chronicles of Khan. Many of these campaign, actually Nemesis is considered a dungeon crawler. Clank, the deck building game, is considered a dungeon crawler. All these games we played. We play many dungeon crawlers. We like dungeon crawlers. It's a thing. There is way too many of them in our hobby, but it's because there's so many of them that get lots of money on crowdfunding. So why not try to make your own? And that's what these guys did. They made their own. And we're going to play it today. And yeah, thank you for supporting us. So this wasn't provided by the publisher. We're not being paid to play by the publisher. And this is not a review copy, just to be clear. So even if any of that was the case, I'm still going to kind of give my thoughts on the game as we play it. I kind of, how do you say that, wear your heart on your sleeve or whatever. Where if something's frustrating me, I'm not going to fluff it up. I'm not a YouTube channel that's going to sit here and telling you this is the greatest game ever and you should buy it and you should own it and try to make myself feel better about my purchases or make you feel better about yours. I could give a rat's ass what games you buy. So keep that in mind. And if this is your favorite game and I say anything bad about it and you have a problem with that, I'm sorry, but I have tons of my favorite games and none of them are perfect. They all have problems and I will say that. And I'll say things I like about it. So if you just want any of that information, as some people do, you'll just hear it here. It's fine. So just keep that in mind. I do like what I played so far. We just learned it yesterday, so keep that in mind. But if you are a fan of this game and you like it a lot and you're watching this video, how you can help is if you're watching live, feel free to help us out with rules correction, strategy, chat about the game in chat, all that kind of stuff. You know, help get the game out there, that kind of thing. If you're watching later, use the timestamp feature. Leave a comment down below if you notice anything we goof up, not for our benefit mainly, but for other people's benefit who might be watching this later, who can learn from our mistakes. It's really hard to make a perfect playthrough of a game we've learned over the years. It gets really stressful and then the games become less fun when you try to do that. So this game is quite a beast. It is a 3.35 complexity. It has barely any reference sheets, basically 0 reference sheets. On the back of one book, it gives you like pictures of tokens, but doesn't tell you what they do. The reference, they kind of shoved in the back of the rule book and kind of condensed the rules over many pages in the back of a 60+ page rule book. So we read a lot of stuff, but we're going to be looking up stuff as we play. They have more keywords in this game than like a chip theory game. Anyone who knows chip theory games, they use like little poker chips. So the components are really small. They can't put text on the cards other than a couple keywords. So you have to have multiple reference sheets and all these keywords you have to learn. It's like learning another language. This game puts those to shame. There is like, I don't know, 10 pages of keywords that all have paragraphs for them. Because this game uses only tiny little cards and didn't want to use the big cards and put full text on them for some reason. So every single enemy ability, just like a chip theory game, we're going to be looking up as we play. I didn't care to memorize them all, or we'd like never play this game, to be honest. So we're going to play it. We're going to look up stuff as we play. We're going to look up rules as we play. But if you want to help as we're playing along, feel free to help. But don't watch this as like a perfect playthrough and expect us not to goof up stuff. Watch, play along with us if you're watching live or, you know, a couple days later. We will keep playing this game as long as we're having fun with it and or you guys are enjoying watching it. So keep that in mind. So if you're watching this in the future and we still haven't played the next episode or we're a couple episodes ahead, feel free to leave stuff down below. Sometimes I see that stuff, so it might help us in the future playthrough, strategy-wise, or, you know, your thoughts on the game might help other people looking at the game, that kind of stuff. Feel free to leave that in the comments below. It would be helpful.
I can try to check out, especially for the first few episodes, to make sure checking more regularly those comments in case there is.
Yeah, like I get notifications for some comments. Like YouTube's so random with it, and then when I open my my comment screen to like go review comments, it's like they're from videos like 10 years ago asking me like a rules question about a game. There's so many that are like, hey, with this game, in that situation you did, and it's like, I played that game in like 2013 on stream, like or on video. Like, I don't remember that game. I don't even own that game anymore. Like, I don't know what to do about that. But anyways, but yeah, try to help other people out too, is what it's for. But anyways, all that's meaningless. What is meaningful is Yogi Bear. Thank you for the 10 gifted memberships. You shot us there before we went live. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Yogi.
Yeah, you're a boss. Thank you so much for supporting the channel as much as you do. We appreciate it. And yeah.
He wants more names added to that list.
Yeah, I guess so. And to help fund future giant box crowdfunding games like this one that we back. And even though I'm trying to back less right now, especially with the uncertainty with tariffs and importing and publishers just disappearing all the time because of financial reasons, just like, whoops, no project for you guys. It's kind of making me scared about backing some of these big box games anymore right now. But it doesn't stop me from ordering games from my local game store for the games that actually make it across the finish line. But yeah. Need to fund the new optician costs.
He's doing it after for you. Remember they did it before for me?
Yeah.
Like, Mel needs glasses. Go to the doctor.
Yeah.
Oh, Yogi, thank you so much.
I know nothing, Rob Snow. This is not bad. Nice. So yeah, this is the game. Chronicles of Drunagor, Age of Darkness. We're playing the core set. I just backed only the core set and then got an extra box of junk that I didn't know what it was, which is very not clear instructions on what to do with it. Even on the website, it's a little sketchy. But Mel did paint up the second box. I wasn't going to even touch the second box because I knew it was just stretch goal garbage, or AKA stuff that probably should have been in the base box is usually how that works. It's basically what you pay your shipping for is that extra junk. So we were just going to play the base core set. Mel painted up the base core set months and months and months ago. But then when we were learning the game over the last day and a half-ish, I was like, okay, cool. I see what they did here. They only gave you so many monsters in the base game, and they allow you to pick randomized colored monsters in scenarios. And if you fail a scenario, you need to replay the scenario. So if you're constantly seeing the same enemies because you don't own any expansions, you're going to be playing the same scenario over and over again. It's going to get a little boring because you'll only be choosing between like maybe 2 random miniatures or something, right? So obviously adding in any kind of expansion or stretch goal box, adding even a couple extra sets of enemies. Oh, you know, another dungeon crawler this reminds me of heavily that I forgot to list in that huge list of dungeon crawlers we played because I know there's so many I'm going to forget. Massive Darkness 2.
Oh, yes.
There's vibes of Massive Darkness 2 all over this thing, or I get vibes of that. But it reminds me kind of that game where, like, you know, you have like these certain enemies, you're going to see them a lot, but then like obviously adding expansions in give you like extra options kind of thing. But there are other games like that too. And that's how this game works. So Mel started painting up some of the enemies. We've incorporated a couple of them that she got done painting yesterday, but there's still others we'll paint and add in as we go. And there's like commanders and stuff that I don't think we'll see for a little bit, maybe, that she'll paint last. There's like not upgraded, just you can use plastic treasure chests instead of cardboard treasure chests. So like whenever she gets around to painting those, we'll incorporate those in, but like not urgent. They're not gameplay relevant, so it's fine. So just keep that in mind. And yeah, so that's what we have. That's what we'll be playing with. So if you're watching and you're like, why are they not using this hero based on their play styles in other games or whatever? The main box only came with 5 heroes. That expansion came with like 12 more heroes, except for we didn't know the game well enough. We just played with some base heroes. And for us to play with any of those heroes on stream, because how we do it is Mel would have to paint them. So I'd rather her just paint some more monsters to spice up the gameplay rather than her start painting a bunch of heroes we'll never play with. Or we would have to spend the time testing with those heroes to see which ones we like and want to play with. But yeah, I'm not worried about it.
We did look through, and the heroes that are similar, so like a dwarf and a dwarf from both boxes were very similar. So it was like, do I want to paint this model or this model? Like,
but you just did the base game ahead of time, so it's like, if you really want to switch to the other hero, it's like you gotta spend time painting it, and then you might not even like it, and then you're like, I'll play this other one anyway, and it's like not really worth it. So just keep that in mind. That's all we have. So if you're looking for like some big giant monster or some expansion, we don't have them. We don't have any side quest content on any of that stuff to expand the campaign. The campaign, from what I read, is 18 chapters. I don't know if you play all those chapters or if it has any branching paths, but there is no fail forward. So if we like the game and keep playing it, I believe the minimum will be like 18-ish chapters. But if you're watching this, I should always say this at the start of these playthrough series, is we could play multiple scenarios in the same stream if we're playing like, you know, we're later in the campaign, we kind of flowing with the rules and the gameplay loop is flowing and we're done really quick all of a sudden. But then with the no fail forward, where if you die, you have to reset the adventure you're playing, that might happen in the same episode where we like play a chapter, fail, set it back up, try again. Might just happen right back to back.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to put episode numbers for now on these and not what chapter we're playing, because we're just, it might be 2 chapters in the same video. It might be the same chapter over multiple videos because we had to replay it. But if we fail like too many times, what I've learned is like, if I have to replay the same scenario again and again and again, and it's just not working out for us. I know you can change stuff in this game, and we could house rule it where like, oh, we could change this thing and change that thing to kind of help us get through that scenario. But then we might not be ready to go forward in the campaign if we're struggling at a certain point. It might just not be our build. It might be something like, maybe it's a rules mistake. Maybe it's just something like our party makeup is not good enough to go beyond here, or we leveled up the wrong skills or something. Who knows? But if that happens, we might just end the campaign randomly. It's happened where like, if a game doesn't have fail forward, sometimes we house rule fail forward in, where if we fail twice, we just move on. But if I'm not enjoying myself, we'll just end it and we'll move on to another game. There's, especially dungeon crawlers, there's so many others to play, so many other fantasy games to play, so many other games that just want to roll a stupid D20 for their combat system for some reason. We could play other games. So yeah. So just keep that in mind. That's how we're going. So we're going to try this out. We're no guaranteed to play the whole thing, but it could be like an 18 episode series. Could be less, could be more. So just keep that in mind. That's how we're going to go with it. And then when we're kind of done with it, we'll give like our final thoughts on it in that last episode at the end. But obviously you'd have to go find that and make that through. So that's the idea. It's supposedly 120 minutes, it says here, but on their website it says 30 minutes per player, but I think that's just like marketing, like kind of lying to you, unless you know what you're doing in the game. But I'm sure the first few scenarios are pretty small and straightforward and stuff, so we'll figure that out. But so yeah, that's where we're at. That's my ramble. I don't know what else to say. I don't know if I'm going to teach the game fully at the beginning here, because we'll be here for like an hour and a half of me trying to explain everything in the game. I did look up, there are how to play videos. I don't think any of them are official though. It's just people who have a phone or whatever, just kind of filming them rambling rules, the ones I clicked on. But if you want to know how the game fully works, which I'd recommend doing before you purchase it, there's 2 ways to go about that if you need a visual aid. Is you could watch us here, ask questions if you're watching live. We'll explain stuff as we go. I'll go over some rules, of course, as we're playing. People will ask questions in the chat. We'll look up rules and things like that. But mainly, you just want to see the gameplay loop if it's for you, right? And you're going to get that here. We're going to play through the whole game, like a whole session. We'll talk about little things in it. We'll compare it to other games. We'll chat with the chat about the game. We're not in a rush to play through this. This is not about making the shortest videos on YouTube ever. You know, we're not here to make quantity over quality. We're just like, let's make some quality, play it, and just have some fun playing it at the table like you would at your house or at a board game store or whatever. So we're going to chat with the chat. We're going to take breaks. We're going to do that kind of stuff. We're going to have some fun with it. So yeah, if you're looking for speedier playthroughs, those exist on YouTube. Go find those. That's not what this is here, okay? This is what is called long form content, just so you're familiar. And we're doing this live. That's another thing. So we're not going to edit it all down and all that kind of stuff. So keep that in mind. For those who are new here. Anything else related?
Just, you'll get the question. We use the 1.5 rules we have.
Yeah. So there was like a crowdfunding campaign for this in like 2019 or something or earlier. I didn't look back fully on what's going on, but I was trying to read online to figure out what it was. I think there was a crowdfunding game where this game came out in like 2019 or something, and people played it, and the game was kind of like not all the way there, as a lot of crowdfunding games from small publishers or first-time publishers, or like, you know, a husband and wife couple making a board game. Sometimes their first game is like not going to be fully there, right? So this supposedly had a lot of broken rules, a lot of things that didn't make sense, a lot of imbalances. People are finding like broken builds and stuff, and just crushing the game and calling it too easy and stuff. I think that's what I got from just like searching online a little bit. But there could be more to it, and if you know the full story, leave it in the comments below. I would appreciate that. Then they came out with a second campaign, and they called it, the second campaign came out, I think, is the one we backed, with a new expansion, a whole new campaign added on, so they could bring it back to crowdfunding, because they didn't want to just bring back the same game. You're not supposed to do that. So they made a new expansion, not standalone, just a new campaign, big box expansion. But then they also made a second printing for this game, and I love backing second printings, because I get the better version of the game than those people who back the first version. I get hopefully less errata, usually better quality, maybe some more stuff in the box, fixed rules, that kind of stuff. And that was what happened in this case, and that's why I backed it the second time. Because people are saying the game was pretty good, just was not all the way there. And then they took a lot of community feedback, which I loved reading in the updates, that they were actually like listening to the fans. So I was like, all right, I'll give this a shot. So we didn't back that extra expansion. I wanted to just try the base game to see if I even liked it. So that's what we're doing here. But they made version 1.5 rules is what they call it. And they did make an update pack to update that first version. And I don't know what's all in that, but we are playing with the version 1.5 rules. There might be newer rules, but I wanted to play with the ones that we actually had in our box, because supposedly they're pretty good for this game. So we're playing with that. But if there's any new rules from like expansions or online, or there's a 2.0 fan rules or something, we're not playing with that. So if you're watching this in the future, we're just playing with version 1.5. And I don't know what the difference is. I don't care what the difference is. I don't have 1.0. I'll never play 1.0. I don't give a crap, okay? So just, that's where we're at. But for anyone interested, if you want to leave in the comments below, other people to check that out or look it up, that'd be cool. But
it's good clarification for those of you that are playing with 1.0 and then come to our channel and like, you aren't doing that correctly.
Yeah, but I assume by now, like those people know, because if they back the first game and have 1.0,
yeah,
the publisher definitely harassed them with tons of email, assuming it didn't all hit their junk mail, about the new campaign and new rules and update packs and buy this, please come back, spend more money, new expansions, come on.
Yeah.
So they know there's new rules, whether they have them or they don't, it's like they should know.
That's true.
And hopefully they see the timestamp on the video or stream when it happened, that we're playing like further in the future. So I don't know when we got this game. 2002, 2003. I don't know when it came.
It's a long time ago.
But whatever, man. We don't always play the new hotness on the channel, and I don't give a crap. We just try to play good games and have some fun. So keep that in mind. So yeah.
I think someone said it in the chat earlier that we've given enough time that people can play through it, so there's no spoilers.
Yeah.
Maybe Yogi said that.
But those people are already on to new games. I think the publishers even like reskin this game. Yogi was saying or something, making like a new version based on these mechanics or something. I don't even know. I don't care. Because nobody's gonna have that game for another 6 years, so who cares? Like I don't care. Anyway. Okay. Again, Yogi, thank you so much for the 10 gifted memberships. That's huge. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Dan, hello. Dan says, this is fantastic. You're playing this live. Very excited. Perfect. Buell says, I expect you to purposely make mistakes, Rob. See if anyone says anything.
Oh, that's what we do, right?
Yeah, every time I make a mistake, it's to test the chat. Yeah, that's what it is.
We're seeing if you're paying attention.
Oh, another thing. I guess I'll talk about it when we get down to the table in a second here. But yeah, I'll talk about it 1 sec. Just looking through the chat that I scrolled off the screen to see if there's any kind of things I can address before we get into it here. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to ignore everybody. I just haven't read everything, and like, I do want to get to the playthrough as quick as possible, but like, you know how it is, especially the first episode. Like when we get to later episodes in the series, we'll just kind of like, hey everybody, and we're just like right into it. But for the first one, like, a lot of people find the channel through like episode 1 of campaign series, I've learned. So I need to respect the new people. Welcome to the channel, and make sure they understand whether they should stay or not. Because yeah, there's reasons why they shouldn't, obviously. And the other way around too. Now wait for the third printing where they'll fully fix things. Yeah, there are issues. The errata for this version, there's a lot of stuff. And I was like, oh my God, I don't even want to look at it. I have it open in case we need to look something up if we're really stuck. But we're just going to play with whatever's broken in the game. I kind of don't care. I'll just play it as it is. And if there are things we see in here, then you just know how this publisher's quality assurance is. It's maybe not that great. They might delay games for years and still be full of mistakes, which asks the question, what did they do with that time and money? Who knows, right? So we're getting the game as it got delivered. So this is how you should expect their future games that you get delivered. So that's also a good thing sometimes when, you know, content creators don't hide the goof ups. You can kind of get a feel for the product you're going to get. Adam, thank you for the super chat.
Thank you.
Missed you both live for a long time, so here's my annual dues.
Oh, thank you.
Annual? We have annual dues now? Jeez.
Adam, thank you so much.
Adam, thank you so much.
I think you are a member. I think you already pay your dues.
Yeah. He's got monthly dues that he's paying.
Yeah.
This is the annual dues.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know anything about any of this program. My CFO manages all this stuff. I don't know.
Thank you.
Thanks for streaming this and greetings from across the pond. This game looks great. So far, there's cool stuff in the game that I like, and there's something I'm not sure if I'm going to like, but I'll only know after we play a few more scenarios.
Oh, okay.
And I'll kind of mention it as it's happening. But again, I'm not going to judge the game fully after like the first scenario or the first read of the rule book. Like sometimes I do that before I buy the game, but we have it now. So obviously I saw something that I liked that I want to try. So, okay, let's, I guess we're good. Also, thank you to all 41 of you who've clicked the like button already. Wow. That's huge. Helps other people find the channel, helps other people find the videos, helps people find the games you love. And then we can get more people in the chat, more people buying these games, keeping these games going, seeing more games like this hit the market, that kind of stuff. It all helps. There's a ripple effect for sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's a lot and we haven't even really started.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I know. Yeah, that's a lot of likes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just scheduled this yesterday evening or yesterday afternoon.
Yeah.
So thank you all who showed up in the short notice. I wasn't sure if we were playing this, if you've been watching the channel. I was saying we were trying to decide on the game to play. So we spent Friday deciding on the game, and then by the late afternoon, we're like, okay, let's pick this game. So we started like reading, but then we started falling asleep while reading because there's so many rules. So much text.
I did think the rule book was good.
Yeah, it repeats a lot of stuff, which I like.
Which is helpful.
Yeah, but that makes the rule book longer,
Yes.
more text. You're reading the same thing you think you understand, and then they have a longer version of it on a few pages later, explaining it even more. And it's like, I like that. It's like hitting you over the head, but it's like, I'm already read this, so it's like hard to like get it in. It's like just so much information. So we read more of it yesterday. We played. They have and I do like this. Mm-hmm. They have kind of like a learn to play, where you play a solo, you just set up this hero, and it walks you through it. But it only walks you through setting it up in your first couple turns, and then it lets you go and play the rest of it, which I like. So it's like a little half and half. But it explains a lot of the stuff as you're going, and it does play through this first scenario we're going to play today, I think, almost exactly. I could be wrong. So we've already had like, we have a feel of what we're going to play today because we walked through this yesterday to like kind of lock in some rules. And I did some BGG searching on rules, just some random threads to see if like, to test my rules knowledge. So we might have issues with the rules. Feel free in the live chat. Our members can use the rules emoji to kind of catch our eyes out of the corner of our eyes if there's a big rules mistake. But feel free to bring up stuff, ask questions. We'll try to figure it out as we go because we're trying to learn this game too. But yeah, we played through this and it just walks you through playing the first scenario with like even some story stuff in it. It's kind of neat. So yeah, nice job on that. And then on the back, there's like just a little pictures of the tokens, but again, no, it doesn't tell you what they actually do. It just tells you what they are. You still have to look up in the rule book. And I just want to show, because this matters for people who are interested in this game. I see people in the chat that are like, oh, I'm glad to see you play this. I'm interested in this. I might grab this game eventually. And one thing I like to do that not a lot, like no crowdfunding campaign, no publisher selling their board game ever uses their quality of rulebook, their onboarding process, their like learn to play, their tutorial, their reference sheets, their like the process of learning their game, getting it to the table, or teaching other players and getting it to the table. No one ever seems to care about that when they're buying a game. No one ever seems to push their game. Their publishers push the game talking about that. And I find that's a huge void in the industry. And since I do this for a living and I constantly like learning games, playing games, learning games, playing games, it really starts to feel that pain and the way that's forgotten, and they don't spend much money on that, on proofreading, on playtesting, on new players trying to rulebook. They usually have players playtest the game and then make the rulebooks after and leave references up to the player base to post on Board Game Geek and spend their time making, which are always great, and I love people that do that. But I always like to bring that up because until you actually sit down and bring out the game, a lot of people back games. They'll go all in on games, hundreds and hundreds of dollars, wait years and years, sit there and read updates, sit there complaining on forums about the game. Finally get the game, open it up, sit down, start reading the rules, start trying to learn how to play it, and then they struggle, or they realize it's harder than they thought, or they realize the publisher just didn't care about that aspect of the game, and maybe the game never gets played. Maybe they never teach it to their friends. Maybe they end up selling it because it's just too complicated, too hard to learn, too many errata, too much issues. So I like to bring that stuff up. But just understand, I just want to show visually this page 54, which is referenced a lot in the rule book to say, oh, look up on page 54. So conditions, keywords, and terms. So if you've ever watched this channel, we play lots of chip theory games, and like they always have reference sheets, tons of keywords to remember. And this is basically the only place you'll read about these keywords. So you have to keep the book nearby. And every time we're gonna, we know what a reaction is, but it's nice it's there too. We know what a spell attack is, it's nice it's in there. But anytime you see like, what is Bloodseeker? What is Bleed? What is an aura? What is attack twice on an enemy mean? Some of this stuff might make sense after a couple times reading it, but there is a lot. And it's not just this page. It's this page. And it's this page and this page. And this page, okay? So we're gonna be constantly looking up stuff every time we see a new enemy we've never seen before. Anytime a scenario gives us some new keywords at the start, some new rules or whatever, we're gonna have to look it up. Anytime we unlock a new ability that might have a new keyword on it, we might have to look it up. So I didn't want to read all this and try to memorize all that, especially when we might not see all that. Maybe we're not even playing with heroes that will ever use some of these keywords. So like, we're just leaving it, but there's a lot there. And then, oh yeah, one more thing. This is that picture again. So they put all the reference material in the last 10-ish pages of the rulebook. And here is like this is their idea of a quick rules and tips, like kind of reference sheet. So this is kind of nice when you pull the game out after a week or two or a month or two off of playing it to kind of just understand the flow of a hero turn, how to use a skill, how an attack roll works. So this is kind of nice. I kind of wish they used some of this on a nice reference sheet or a reference card we could have nearby. But that's the whole game summed up in reference material. And of course the back of the book's blank with no reference material, which is very frustrating to not see reference on the back.
Well, I think for the most part, I'm just going to have it open to 54.
Yeah, so we're not using any fan-made stuff yet. If you have any recommended fan-made stuff, drop it in the comments below. Is like, what is it called on BGG? I'll look it up later, but we don't have any reference material to help us learn yet. So we're just using that rule book. We're going to have it nearby. I have this little thing out to remind me what tokens are when we see them for the first time.
Or if it's just referenced in text, we can see which one it is.
So yeah, that's all you got. So like you can see here, if you get like, some abilities, this is kind of how an ability is written in the game. It's just like, commas and apostrophes and slashes and little words. You have to like figure out what they mean. So it is like its own language. A better one would be actually to kind of like look here. So like, what is focus? What is like, these are things you have to learn, but you can always look on page 54 to see like, focus one and cleanse ones. Okay, I need to know what those are. Telekinesis, what does that do? Jump, how does that work in this game? Focus, that's that again, okay. Knockdown, how does that work? Like in this game, what I noticed, especially in the forward of the game, I read it this morning. It's basically like the designers, publishers talking about like why they love the game, whatever. But one of the things is they said they tried to make a dungeon crawler that didn't just copy everything from all the known dungeon crawlers and the successful ones. So I was like, oh, okay. We play a lot of games where you can tell they're just taking things from games that were hot, trying to put their own spin on it. This game said that they're trying to make their own thing and feel unique, but still be a dungeon crawler based on RPGs. Okay, it's supposed to have that RPG feel, which all that means to me usually is it has some story, it uses generic fantasy, and for some reason they love rolling a d20. It drives me nuts. I'm gonna stop buying games when I find out they just like only use a d20 to roll in combat. Like, Snooze fest.
I can't believe we went back to back campaign games with a D20. Rob
I know.
is going to go crazy.
When I saw it, I forgot that was in it.
Too.
All I remembered for this game was it had this cool cube system. And it's the coolest part of the game so far that I have understood, is there's a cube system that limits what you can do on a turn. You have to manage this like a little mini Euro kind of game where we're constantly refreshing cubes. Once you use them all up, you have to refresh them. But then you lose access. You'll put a black cube on your board to kind of block abilities. So you're always kind of deciding on what enemies are there, what is happening. But it also has that cool thing that we like from digital, like dungeon crawlers that have an app, like Mansion of Madness 2nd Edition, Descent, Journeys in the Dark, Journeys in Middle Earth, Lord of the Rings, that have a app that hides the rest of the scenario from you. This has a similar thing, but it's totally analog. Where doors to the next room, you'll open the door card. I'll show you in a sec as we play. So you might be looking at your board trying to manage these cubes, not knowing what's in the next room or what's in the rest of the scenario because you've never seen it yet, which is kind of cool. So you have to make these decisions on where to put little cubes to block skills as you get your colored cubes back. So you're going to see that throughout the playthrough, how we try to manage cubes, and we might suck at it at first, but we'll try to figure it out. But it is, I feel like, the most fun part of this whole game. The rest of it feels like it's a generic-ass dungeon crawler, but tries to change every little thing you know about dungeon crawlers just a little bit to say it's different. So, like, enemy movement, enemy behavior, it could have been the same as every other game what we're used to, but nope, they had to change it. So we have to like break what we understand about enemy movement, enemy behavior, and change it for this game because it does it its own way. So we might mess it up, because we spend hundreds of hours in other similar games that usually follow tropes. This game always tries to like just tweak everything. Everything's just a little tweaked. So yeah, we're gonna try to figure that out, but we might make mistakes because of that reason. They change things just to change things, it feels like. But is it better? No, I wouldn't say so. It's just different. But yeah. So yeah, we'll see. You'll see that here. But yeah, there's so many weird things. But it's fine. It's fine. We'll get used to it as we play this over and over and over again. What else? Another thing you noticed, you may have seen in all the marketing material like I did before we backed the game, there are some nice game trays, custom-made plastic board inserts, similar to like how Zombicide started coming out with those plastic board inserts.
Oh, yeah.
You put your heroes in them and your cards and your pegs and all that. Mm-hmm. This game has custom inserts to put your hero board in, and your cubes will sit in them nicely. And your cards will sit in them nicely. And I just assumed when I was back in the game, I assumed it was either a thing included in the box because they show it so much on everything I looked at. Everybody had those inserts. So when I backed the base game and then the stretch goals were included, I'm like, I must have those in there. But when we pulled it out yesterday to learn the game, I was like, where are they? There's all these plastic trays everywhere, and none of them were those trays. Luckily, one of my local game stores an hour away had them, so we ordered them. They should be here, but for playing on video, they're not needed normally. But for playing on video, I just want to keep things like kind of in shot and not like all over the place, or like things will start getting messy. And I don't want to sneeze by accident and my cubes all go wherever. So we have those on order. But when you're playing with the base game, it's got Terraforming Mars PTSD written all over it, okay? Be careful. Be careful. Like your health is a pink cube on a little track at the bottom of your board. And when you're gathering all your cubes back, if you're learning the game, you might accidentally grab that cube back and put it with your cubes.
Or even just like move the...
I don't know why it's not a heart shape or something else. But even the bad cubes that you put to block things, you're supposed to selectively grab each cube. And sometimes I accidentally just start grabbing cubes to be fast. And I move a cube and I go, where's that cube go again? So hopefully those custom boards will fix that when we get them. They're not cheap for what they are, but we'll eventually get them. And then the health marker on those boards is like a little tracking, little clicking thing, I think. So that hopefully won't happen with the pink cube. But I mean, these boards will slide around and like, who knows? It's very frustrating. But that's how we're going to play today. Hopefully we have those for next stream. Just keep that in mind. I don't think they're necessary, especially if you don't have pets or kids or earthquakes or anything like that. But if you do...
then they're required?
Yeah, this might not be the game for you, or they're required. And also, they have 2 sheets like this in the game. I I don't know. When you back a game on crowdfunding and it talks about being premium and it looks overproduced and high quality and all this, and this is what they give you to track your enemy damage, is they expect you for each enemy to put a ring on their base to match a color and give you a white cube for each enemy and kind of track that on a flat, flimsy piece of paper. And you're just putting white cubes all over this thing and hoping they don't get moved incorrectly or someone at the table puts it clearly on the right spot. Yeah, I can't have this. I can't have this. I saw people are 3D printing inserts that you can slide this in that have like little borders to put the cube in. Yeah. Some people made those, but I'm not doing that. So what we're gonna do instead of this, I just have a bunch of colored dice that I use on a lot of streams and playthroughs. We're just gonna use dice that match the color of the rings to track the health by the initiative meter. We'll just put it over here, you'll see that. And we'll show that as we set that up. But I'm not playing with these, but this is what comes in the base game that you'd find probably at retail or if you just bought the base box. This is like embarrassing. Like games that do this, like that spend so much money on miniature models, like spend a little less money on your miniatures and like make the actual gameplay components you're actually going to be using functionally, make them functional. Like this is garbage, like trash. Like I thought
it was dual layer at first.
Not even.
No.
I know it should be dual layer cardboard at minimum, but then again, like they could have just fixed it by giving you like dials or dice or something, like something better than this. This is trash. Yeah, 3D printed help. There's so many things, but if you're a board gamer, you have tons of stuff in your collection, like there's solutions to this as we have. So just keep that in mind. We're not playing this, but this is part of the game. Yeah, get that out of here. I don't want to see that. Put it in the shredder. Jesus. Like saw that, I'm like, what the hell? Like, why did I back this game? It has all these things that I'm like, what? I don't want to support publishers that do this stuff. So anyways, there you go. Yeah. Anyways, that's the fun stuff I like ranting about. There you go. Welcome to Rob's Game Table.
Oh, they have a dual layer as an add-on.
Of course they do.
Oops, we missed that.
Again, I didn't know if I'd like this game. I just backed the base gameplay core set. That's all I wanted. Just give me the damn game to play.
Yeah.
It's like, and that's what the majority of people will have their experience with, right? I would assume over time, more people will just play your base game. But I guess, yeah, if I looked at the add-ons, and I knew I had to add on dual layer cardboard for that, and I knew I had to add on the player trays, it probably would have went more than I wanted to pay for a base game of a dungeon crawler. Right. I probably just wouldn't have backed it, to be honest. But that's me not looking too deeply into it. Yeah. Yogi says dual layer should be in base and triple layer is the add-on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But again, this is from a few years ago, so who knows? Times were different then. Okay, so we have these campaign logs. I don't know exactly how they work fully, but I think when we go to save, this is where we kind of jot down what we have. But auras we need to track when that happens, or an outcome.
Okay.
As we go forward through the campaign. But they do have campaign logs per player. But they have so many things on here. I don't know. Like, I guess you record all your weapons and stuff. But they also... I think if
you were packing it up, because you would need to know.
But when you're packing it up, there is this they give you for each player, where I guess you could put the cards you have unlocked in here, so you wouldn't need to write down all... But I guess the ones that you're using... No, you could put the ones you're using here and the ones you're not using here.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then you can put your tokens and stuff in there. So that's okay. But we have that too. So yeah, we'll try to figure this out as we go, but I can understand like unlocking class abilities and like your skills, what you've unlocked is kind of cool. But again, you don't need to write that if you just keep it over here, or keep your unlocked stuff here and your equipped stuff here. I think would be fine, but I don't know if that's how you're supposed to use that either. It wasn't too clear, but anyways. I'll throw this over here. Okay. What else? Okay. This game has 100 mini cards. They didn't want to use the standard cards, so there's like 100 cards. This is a card trade that I got way in the past. I don't think you can get this anymore, and I stained it, so it's my own thing. So if you're, I know people are gonna leave comments. Where do you get that card tray? I always forget to like address that at the beginning. But I got this from a publisher or a manufacturer, eRaptor. I don't know if they make new ones like this anymore, but the last time I used this on stream, they didn't even have this product anymore. And I stained it myself. So yeah, just that's what we're using. So it's kind of like a custom thing at this point. So keep that in mind. But I have all the cards here for the game that we need, I think, and there's still more in the box that I don't think we need based on the heroes we're playing with, and we're going to use just the base enemies. In this game, it's kind of neat. For example, there's skeletons are one enemy type. And that enemy type has like 4 different standard difficulties. So as we play through the campaign, it'll slowly get, maybe more movement, maybe more attack, maybe more annoying, all that kind of stuff. As we level up, it'll level up, I'm sure. Which is usually kind of a snooze fest. But what they did is they never tell you to do this, but they left it as just optional stuff. So this is where they spent money on this extra design, but still gave me a flat sheet to track their health. Again, spend your money on like different things, I think, but again, add-ons, whatever. So on the other side, though, if you want, you play this game a bunch, you've seen the skeleton 5 snares in a row. Okay, I'm bored of the skeleton. I need something a little more complex. Not necessarily more difficult, just more complex. You could play with the alternate side. And you could do this randomly. You could like flip a coin and this skeleton's now the alternate one. And the next skeleton that comes out, maybe I flip a coin and it's the standard one. You can do whatever you want. But there is also cards I'm not going to include in here. We're not going to play alternate, at least for a while. But there's other cards that I don't have at the table right now that even give you more variability. They're actually enemies that are double-sided. I think they're called like complex enemies.
Yeah.
And again, they're even more complex, not necessarily harder. They are harder if you don't understand how they work. They might be more difficult, but they're more complex. And those ones actually go on the initiative meter, and they have an A side and a B side. So after they activate, they flip. And now they do something different on the other side. And then when they activate again, they flip again after they've activated and do something different. So even every time they activate, they're acting different. So.
And I think it said that they could change where they go in the line.
Yeah.
They can go twice in a round.
Yep.
When they flip.
Yeah. So we're just going to start because, again, we're just learning the game. We're just playing blind. This is our first playthrough. We're noobs. So we're just going to play with the basic standard size for now, at least for a while, of all the monsters. So I do not have the flipping ones at the table. I'm not going to worry about that. But it is kind of cool for replayability and to make it a little more interesting, especially if you play with like your friends or your family. You play through this once or solo even. You play through this game and you're like, okay, I get these skeletons. Like I've seen them 100. They're boring. Like, I know exactly how to defeat them. If you want to give yourself more challenge, more interesting interactions, more overhead, you can play with different enemy cards that they give you in the base box. They're all included. So, but yeah, we're just going to play with the standard side of all the enemies here. So just keep that in mind. And that's all it ever asks you to deploy is the standard enemies. It never tells you to do it. It's totally up to the players at the table what they want to do, which I think is cool. Remy, I don't know what that game is. I have no idea what the game is. Sorry. Maybe we'll look it up later, but I don't know. Sorry. So we'll see. Okay. Oh, it was only $5 for the dual layer add-on. Yeah, that should be in the box. That should be in the box.
We would have done it for $5.
But the problem is, it's because they when they're working on a game, they need that box to be like a certain size. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, they add like 1 centimeter to the box. It adds like, now they can't fit as many in a shipping container. Then it increases the cost of like manufacturing and shipping and all this stuff.
And there's 2 of those sheets, so they'd have to do it.
Yeah. Or just make a dual-sided. Oh no, that wouldn't make sense. Yeah, never mind. It is already dual-sided, but it's not. Something else on the back. But yeah, they probably just couldn't fit the dual layer in the box. But again, if you reduced a few of the cards, or maybe something, maybe reduce the player count by 1 or something, you reduce some of the components in the box, like, yeah, you can make it work. Because it does go up to 5 players, which is like a weird player count.
Yeah, it is
It could have been a 4-player game and probably saved some room in the box, and then gave us a little better player mats and stuff like that. But yeah, who knows? All right. But don't worry, they made sure the initiative track in this game is as big as effing possible and takes up as much table space as it can. I don't know. I don't know what's going on here, but this is like huge.
It's okay, I'll manage.
I know.
You don't have to worry.
But I just hate the way it takes up so much, like more space than the scenario is going to take up.
I know.
Like, what is going on? Why did they change it to change it? I don't know. Anyways, all right.
Okay. Yeah, because it could have just been a line of cards.
I know.
Right?
We've seen initiatives done way smaller on the table, way more efficiently, and they just did it to do it.
Remember those little Gloomhaven ones where they just
just little cardboard tokens, put them in order.
Line.
Yeah, and those are only optional, like to help you. Those weren't even like fully necessary.
But I guess because of the runes, maybe you need, I don't know.
Okay, enough rambling. Let's get to the game. I guess it's been 45 minutes. We can start now, and we didn't even teach the game. This is great. Okay, So, where we're going to start, I think the best place to start is me trying to read the prologue. Okay? Get the story out of the way. There is some more story for the scenario, but we'll read the prologue.
Oh, this is just about the game.
Yeah, which we've not read before. Maybe this will set up the environment and why we are doing what we're doing. I don't know. But it says Ascension. Maybe this actually I have this in digital form that we can all read together. So you can mute me if you want and read it yourself and pause the stream, whatever you want to do. But I might be wrong. Let's see. Oh, it's there. Okay, let's try to read. Yeah, let's do it this way. So I don't have to hold it up to the thing. Yeah, it's like. All right. So, Ascension, a word coined to represent the state of mind a person's soul, a righteous one, reaches at the moment of their death, without the ties of the body and with a light conscience for having lived a virtuous life. The ascended one rises to the sky and finds his place in the blanket of night, becoming one of the thousands of stars that watch over Drunagor. An eternity spent in the truest fullness. You have never considered yourself the greatest of the faithful, and you even begin to doubt that the promised and desired reward was true when you learn that you had been deprived of the one person closest to you. For that loss, you have been racked with guilt, and there seems to be no remedy for that. Wandering the roads of the old continent, you arrive at a parish house near a village far from the big cities, a true sanctuary for travelers. You stood in front of its doors for over an hour, unable to go in. But there was nothing wrong with it. The problem was within you. You didn't feel worthy of stepping into a holy place. Not after what you had done. Yeah, I feel you, brother. And so, all that was left for you to do was to surrender to tears under a late afternoon rain. And this would not be your first time. A great scholar once taught me that we are all stardust, says the priest who took care of the place. After he had found you, dragged you into the building and listened to your story over supper. I like that because I feel that we are always in communion, even with those who have already embraced the earth. Your dearest one spirit may not have crossed the way of the arcana, but it may still be here, in the come and go of the seasons, just like us. And I like to believe that they too are at peace. This was the first time you'd heard this sermon. However, you couldn't deny it. There was a little comfort in that thought. However, it's you that I worry about, traveler, he continues, and you know that the most important thing he has to say would come next. The grief that afflicts those who remain when accompanied by guilt becomes an unbeatable force to lead someone astray. I see that you are distressed, that nothing can bring you comfort. However, this does not seem fair to you. No matter what you've done, if you fall to your knees and acknowledge your pain, it's a sign that you can still find your way. You know that you only did what needed to be done, but that doesn't make your pain any less. A father, a sibling, a friend, a lover. Being responsible for the departure of someone so close to you was not an easy thing to deal with, and there was nothing that could convince you that everything which had happened was not a great injustice, and that the world itself was to blame. The winds have changed, he continues. Even good people have become victims of despair, and no soul seems to be prepared for the strange things that have happened. More than ever, it is essential to do the right thing, to stick to the doctrine so that you can find peace. You want to ask why, if that was true, that you still feel so bad for doing the right thing. You want to ask why you still feel that something inside of you was broken, out of place, making you wonder if what you have been taught all these years was the right thing, in fact, the right thing. However, words fail you, and in the end, you just remain silent, brooding over the same thoughts you had been brooded on through the last cycle of the moons. All of that could be heard was the symphony of raindrops falling on the roof. Now understanding the depth of your despair, your host does not speak another word, but neither does he leave you alone. And the truth be told, that's just what you needed. All right, so we're starting our campaign here with Chapter 1, A Cry for Help. A sharp, desperate scream awakens you in the middle of the night. It's still drizzling outside, but you remain dry, having fallen asleep in front of the fireplace in one of the parish's house's rooms. Taken by an impulse from whence you don't know where, you hurriedly gather your belongings and rush out the door into the woods in search of the source of the cry, determined to lend your aid. You don't know exactly where you are, but you know it isn't far from Black River, a small town in Elend's kingdom. Elon's kingdom? I don't know. It was precisely by following the aforementioned river that you came to this rural settlement, cozy and hidden in the hills among dense pine forests. Suddenly, something buzzes past your ear, and you are alarmed to see an arrow thud into a tree right next to you, missing your forehead by just a few inches. You look into the woods and spy a shooter as it prostrates itself on the ground. A reassembled skeleton bearing the insignia of Amira, carrying a short bow in its hands. You cannot help but feel intrigued. This isn't the first time we've come across such a foe, but you certainly didn't expect to see another one now or here. After all, you believe that you had defeated the one responsible for the resurgence of such horrors, and indeed, it was the guilt you still carry from that confrontation that made you lose yourself out there in the woods. Could others also be involved? In truth, are not these creatures always under the command or judgment of some controller? Someone who has learned how to raise the dead and decide to make a kingdom for themselves? The more you reflect on these strange events, the more confusing it all seems to you. A second arrow whizzes past you, this time grazing your arm, and you realize that these are reflections for another time. Someone needs your help. So there's some rules we care about, so we should read these. Darkness spawning rule. There is no darkness for the first scenario. Darkness is a huge mechanic in the game. I think it's in every scenario after this one. It's even in this scenario if it's the same as the solo one we played, but it behaves a little different. And here it says behavior is standard. The darkness will chase the strongest hero. In this game, strongest is the one with the most health. That is not already on top of darkness. Darkness are just little tiles that get placed on the board, and they basically harm you by reducing your health or boost the enemy's attack against you if they're standing on them. If all heroes are on top of darkness, skip that spawning and all heroes take Y, non-preventable damage, where Y equals the number of heroes instead. This effect is applied each time a rune should be drawn, but a tile is not placed and is called the crush. So they're teaching us some stuff here. It's nice. The recall action curse penalty. So recalling is, like I said, getting all your colored cubes back from your abilities and your skills or whatever. I think they're called skills. Off your skills, and then putting them back in their available area. And the penalty here is whenever a hero takes that recall action, whether you're forced to take it because you ran out of colored cubes to use, or you're down to 2 cubes of the same, you're down to 2 color of cubes remaining. You can take a willing recall, but either way, we'll receive 1 curse cube as a penalty. And you'll see that as we play through. It'll make complete sense. It's a huge component of the game. You'll see it over and over here as you're watching. Winning and losing the adventure. The adventure fails immediately when one of the following occurs. A hero is defeated by receiving more curse cubes, CC, or trauma cubes, TC, that they can hold. I think what they're letting us do here, or the last bag in the rune is drawn. So there's a timer to the game, always. But it ends successfully when a player reads an entry that says the adventure ends here. And there's going to be entries we'll read in a book as we come across things through the scenario. Very sword and sorcery-like, it feels like.
Yeah.
That we're constantly looking up little things as we go. But it says then they can hold.
I think that's only because some characters can hold more than the noted amount in the rulebook.
So by default, the game, I think in the rules says once you receive your 6th curse cube or your 2nd trauma cube, the whole party fails.
Yeah.
Once a single adventurer has that. But in here, it's not giving us a specific number.
But I think
it's just saying how many you can hold. Is it saying for this first scenario, they're kind of being nice, where like, until you run out of spots to put black cubes?
I don't think so, but...
I don't think so either, but...
I think that the default that everyone can hold is 5, but I think that it notes in the book that some characters have abilities to hold additional of both of those things. So
yeah, but why doesn't it just say those numbers there and say unless otherwise stated?
No. I guess that's why it's saying that they can hold, because that's...
I don't know. Little weird, little left up for interpretation. Not a fan. But anyways, start the adventure. After you have completed the following setup, read these instructions and any other special instructions on the next page. Then you may begin to play the adventure. So here's how setup works in this game. It basically tells you what trays to use. There's different, they're basically game trays that this kind of feels like the comparison I have to this, and I don't know which game was shown first or came out first, but when you play a game, a dungeon crawl like this, that has cool like elevation, I always think of Descent, like Legends of the Dark or whatever it's called, the like 3rd Descent game. that has that cool, like, different levels and stairs and water and all this crazy stuff. And you make these giant scenarios as you play through it, using all this custom cardboard terrain. And this is like that meme where you're like, oh, Mom, I want Descent. And then she says, no, we have Descent at Home. This is Descent at Home, where they have these 3 trays that just change the elevation from 0, which is the table, to 1 and then 2. Barely anything happens with those elevations. It's just there, I feel like. So when this game is on a table at a convention or in a video, it makes the dungeon crawler look cooler than other dungeon crawlers. But from what I see, it's like it's just like that, but like it's just there. It's weird. So it's just like they did it to do it, but it only has an impact. Like you get -2 to your roll if you're like lower elevation than the enemy. But for movement, you literally can go up 1 level. It doesn't matter. If you drop down from 2 levels higher, you take some damage. I don't know. It's just there. It's like, but I like it for filming reasons because we know Descent is hard to get on camera because that game can get crazy, going up way multiple levels and giant structures, which is freaking phenomenal, and annoying for different reasons. But this game is just like these little trays to put the maps in, and you'll see. It's weird. But the white bread McDonald's. Anyways, okay. So yeah. So we're gonna set it up here. We're just gonna show you this. We'll just show you this on the screen. But I just wanted you to understand like what we're looking at. It tells you based on player count. So everything above the dotted line is what you'll place on the board, based on solo or every player count technically. And then you start going down the list, and we're playing 2+ players. So we'll take the first line in this situation, putting a skeleton archer rookie on the board in the position in the picture on the left. It clearly tells you what tile to use, E4-F. So that'll be which side of the tile or paper or whatever that we'll put into the dungeon tray 1. I do like the way, kind of like, those FFG digital apps will kind of show you the fog of war to give you an idea where the map might expand to. Mm-hmm. So if when you're placing it on your table and you're not sure how far it's going to grow, on the right side here, it tells you the rough table space you might want to have clear where it could expand to. Spoiler, I think they don't put exactly what it goes to leave something up to the imagination.
Yeah, I think
because that is not how much table space you really need for the scenario, I don't think, unless there's some trick in here. But what I read online is they'll put a rough number so you're not sure. So you can't plan exactly, I think. Or it's just this wasn't updated and it's an errata thing. I don't know. But anyways.
Or maybe there's like a minimum that they always use.
Oh,
right?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. But yeah, our table's not going to be that full, I promise, for this one. At least I don't think. Unless they change it up in this. But we're using the same door card, so I don't think that's the thing. But the other thing is, I'll show you, is on the door cards, you could actually scan a QR code, and they said there's going to be some online database where you can have different setups made by the fans and by the publisher to change it up as you play through. So maybe that size...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe there's like a smallest it could be, and then if it knows it's a bigger scenario, or if it's like a different orientation.
Yeah, maybe. But it might just be future-proofing it.
We'll keep an eye if they all say 84 by 50.
But I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it for filming too. Like, give me an idea of how much I have to zoom the camera out and stuff like that, or zoom in or whatever. I like that. So, anyways, we're going to be playing with the skeleton archer, and then the next line there says G2, GM rookie. That just means grab a gray miniature or a gray monster. So we have multiple gray monsters in the base game, a couple of them I think, and then we have the add-on stretch goals, which added like another 1 or 2 or something. So we're going to be drawing from a few options, and it'll be random. And anyone who knows this game, I have a question here, which I tried to look up before yesterday, I think, and I couldn't figure it out exactly. But when I'm picking a gray miniature, let's say it said white miniature, is there a chance I could get a second skeleton archer on that? Or would it always have to be a different enemy type? That I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah, that's a good question.
And if it says G2 and G4 there, are they the same gray monster? I'm just getting a second one? Or am I choosing another gray, totally different enemy type? I don't know. I don't know if there's some shorthand to this. So I don't know in bigger scenarios, if you're playing 5 players, if you're constantly like, you're going to have tons of different types of enemies, or they're still the similar enemies. I'm not sure. So what we're going to do, just to keep it interesting, obviously we'll just pick, we just need a skeleton, which is white, and then we're just pick one random gray.
Oh, Yogi said same. So Yogi for 2 and 4, whatever we pick for 2 is the same. We'll get a second for 4.
It doesn't matter for us right now. It's just something I was curious about. Like, how does that work?
Oh, okay. You randomize once, then all of the grays are the same.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I was just curious if like there's something to that.
Might not affect us.
Yeah. But it would if the first one was a gray
Yeah.
and then it told us to get a random gray.
Yeah.
I would assume that would have to be different. Or could it be the same?
I think if it specifies the first one, the second one would be random. If the second one is,
okay.
But I don't know.
Because we do have multiple skeleton archers, for example.
Yeah.
So let's say the second one said grab a random white. Is the skeleton in consideration for it? Because I know you can have multiple the same on the board, as we see right here. There can be 3 skeleton archers.
Yeah.
But we know the game comes with more than that. So I don't know. Just hypothetical. I'm just want to know, but we'll ask the question when it comes up in the future. It might be a different scenario. And there's some art. Why is there a finger in there?
An eyeball.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on in this church, but yeah.
We don't want to part.
Okay, we don't want to read any more of that. All right. Thank you for that. Okay, so
we need skeleton archer. I can get that out.
So good thing we played this already in the scenario, and it uses the same tiles, I think. So, yeah, it's the same as that solo scenario. So we can just put this here somewhere. So again, there's trays. So these are like, this is tray number 1. There's like a bigger one and one with the multiple levels. So this is, we're playing on level 1. So if it was a tile on the table, this is level 0. But we're playing on level 1. And we have door number 1 here. So door number 1, when we open it, I just want to show you this part. There's the QR code I was talking about. So if you're like, you've played this 100 times and you're like, I want to see something different. Suppose you can scan this, go online, and it might give you a completely different scenario to pick from, or setup, or something fan-made or something.
I do think that's an interesting idea.
Yeah, I just don't know if they actually implemented it or if it's there or not. I have no idea, but we're only playing this first time, so I don't care. But just thought it was something to show. I think that's neat. And based on that setup, we know we can start anywhere in these 5 squares at the bottom. So,
do you want to pass, figure out what our other monster is first?
Oh yeah.
To know.
Yeah, good call. So we need Skeleton Archer Rookie. On here, you need to know the Skeleton Archer is immune to bleed. In the initiative track, it's going to go above. That's what that little white triangle is beside this symbol. This just tells you where it goes on the initiative track. It's going to have 9 health. I believe that's the symbol it's from the base game, I think. It's ranged attack. And range works a little different in this game too. Everything in this game is just like a little different. Some of it I like, some of it's just to be different, like I said. And you'll see that here with range, how range works. There's the movement on the monster. There's any modifications to its attack or any I guess abilities it's going to do or keywords it has are here, and then its attack for 3. Monsters don't roll dice, they just do the 3 damage. This is actually going to try to shoot 2 of us. Multi-shot 2 just means it's trying to target 2, and any of us that it actually reduces our health, it will poison 1 us. So we'll have 1 poison. So if you block all the damage, the 3 damage it's trying to hit you with, by preventing it or shielding it or whatever, you won't take poison, which is kind of neat. And it's kind of cool, the art there has a poison arrow and everything. So that's going to go on the track there. Then Mel's saying, Rob, we need our gray monster.
Yeah, I just want to know what it is before.
So we have some options. So we're going to do like a die roll or something to figure this out randomly. But I just want to show for this first one what the different monsters are in the game. Kind of see. So these are gray, and they're gray because the background is gray. And I think this symbol is different or whatever. Yeah. So for color blindness, which is good. And then we have an executioner. So there's our monsters. So they're all melee. Some of them move slower, some of them hit harder, some of them they all have 12 health.
Oh.
They're all rookie, like I got the rookie version. But some of them jump, some have regeneration, whatever that is, we'll look up if we get it. Some of them attack twice, some cleave, but hitting 2 with an attack melee. They might go different on the initiative meter. They have different immunities. So these are the 4 we have in our copy of the game. But again, if you have like more expansions, or if you don't have the stretch goal add-on thing, you just bought a box from a friend or at a retail or something, you might have only a couple options, I think. Maybe 3 options or 2.
Yeah, because I only added 1 from the base, or from the...
Oh, okay. So yeah, I guess you have 3 options in the base game. So that's still pretty good. So what we'll do is we'll just roll the d20 and we'll say like first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter kind of numbers, I guess. Like first 1 through 5, 6 through 10, 11 through 15, and whatever's left.
Yeah.
16 through 20. 16. So the Executioner. So I'm assuming the mini looks similar to that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's them?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Thanks to Mel for painting these for us a couple of years ago, I think. But yeah, that's sick. So there's the card. He goes on the bottom of the green symbol on the initiative track. And then again, we're going to use the dice. So based on the color Mel puts on the bottom for the ring, is supposed to match a row on that sheet. But we're just going to use dice that are similar color to track their health near the card. So it's 1 color per unit. So if we had 2 of these Executioners, we maybe have like orange dice as the second one, and we'll track it that way. So it's not normally how the game works, but I'm not using those sheets. I cannot do it. Terraforming Mars, many sleepless, nightmare-filled nights after playing that game. Not doing that again.
Jerry does say there's an app you can use as a randomizer for the enemies.
Oh, is there?
That's helpful.
Oh, that's cool, Jerry.
That's cool.
But I probably have to put in what I own and all that stuff, and like, this is fine.
There's not too many cards.
Yeah.
I mean, there is, but...
But if you owned All In, that app I would be using it 1,000%, no problem. Like, yeah. But we don't have many, and I might just sort this out and only keep all the rookies together. But again, I don't know when they're going to start throwing higher numbers in, and then like rookie this, but champion that, and all this.
Oh, true.
So then I'll have to like, okay, I can't keep them all in separate decks. So I'll need to just keep them all together. So we'll just do that.
Can you remind me where this guy is placed?
Yeah.
Sorry.
No problem.
Here.
G2, yeah.
Okay, so now... Okay, so now you said we can start in any one of these spots.
So any one of these. So what does he do, actually? We've not seen this guy before. Yeah, this is our first time playing against an Executioner, so we're not ready for this guy. He's immune to
Intimidate and Knockdown.
Oh, Intimidate? That's what that is?
Yeah.
Okay, No, that's not Knockdown. That's Slow, I think.
Oh.
Knockdown is like the guy laying on the ground.
Oh, you're right. That is probably Slow.
Sorry. Let's check. Slow.
Yeah, slow.
Yeah, okay. Knockdown's a little different.
We don't do slow.
Some of these we've never seen before. So like I said, we're going to have to look up stuff for sure. Okay. There's a lot of tokens in this game. A lot of abilities. Tokens and keywords. Okay. So this guy moves for 4. He's a melee only, so he can attack you adjacent. Okay. Something that is cool in this game, it's been a while since we played a game like this, that adjacency and movement and all that, and range and all that stuff, is can be diagonal or orthogonal.
I love that.
I hate it for how quickly enemies can literally get across the board, which is annoying. That's the one part about diagonal movement that I hate, is I love that we can do it.
Oh, but you wish it.
Yeah, but the enemies, they just literally can rip across the board so fast, and I'm not used to that. We haven't done that in a game in a while. So yes, you are adjacent to this enemy if you're even diagonal. So yeah, being here is adjacent. Being here is adjacent, obviously, and all the way around. So yeah. And how range works, I'll show that now while we're talking about this. Range, these blue squares, you're like, why are they all in every 4 squares is its own square? That's used for range. And in this game, range is just, by default, range 1. Just means you're able to hit. So if this guy is range. So let's say this guy was here. This guy is in this space, and if he has range 1, he can hit any adjacent blue square 1 away. And adjacency, remember, is diagonal also. So this skeleton can literally hit everyone on this map, except, kind of cool, if you're adjacent to a range unit, not only can they not attack you with their range attack, they can't attack anybody at all. They just don't attack. And this is for players, or for heroes and enemies. But they will move away to try to get it. But even if they move 1 here, he's still adjacent, so he can't range attack this guy over here. So there's some kind of weird stuff with it. We'll try to figure out. It's like, again, it's different to be different, but it's like, some of it's cool, I think. But we'll see. The jury's still out on that. We'll see as we play it. But
I think that's when keywords being able to make them so that they can't move. and
Yeah.
then being
Oh, yeah,
adjacent
yeah.
to them, then they can't now attack.
Yeah. So there's a lot of control-y elements in this game. I like a lot of knocking enemies down, so they have to waste their movement. Telekinesis, where you can move enemies around, which is why I'm kind of playing the character I'm playing. I think it's super neat. So you were.
I was just gonna look up because he has cleave.
So that means he can hit two of us.
Hit two of us.
I think.
So we probably.
I would assume based on cleave in every other game, but again, it could be a little different. But cleave 2 I would assume he just hits 2 adjacent, and he's going to target.
slow.
You always target the strongest usually. So,
Yeah.
but we're playing 2-player, and I don't have any companions or pets or anything to add extra targets. And bleed 1 just means I put a bleed 1 token on you, and bleed in this game you just like lose a health at the start, and then one of the tokens goes away, right?
Yep. Yep.
Is that how burn works too? So that why
Everything but poison.
But why is bleed and burn in the game if they're both the exact same? There's got to be some difference, right?
I don't think there's a difference. I think it's just
They just
thematic.
did it to have more tokens.
Bleed, we already know, and then burn.
Let me see it. Let me see
sorry,
bleed.
sorry.
Takes X bleed tokens. At the beginning of that character's next turn, it takes 1 non-preventable damage for each bleed token it has, then removes all of them from its board. I bet burn is not removing
it's
all
very
of them.
Slow then maybe.
Yeah, burn is at the beginning of the character's next turn. For each burn token it has, removes 1 of those tokens. So there is a difference.
I think I did that backwards.
Oh,
In our
okay.
practice, but that's okay.
So bleed will all go away because I guess you have good bandages.
Yeah.
But burns, they take longer to heal than a cut. I
mean,
guess.
that makes thematic sense.
And then it slows you, which I'm assuming
assuming it
slows
just
like
means
1
that-
less move. I've never been slowed, so I don't know because we have not played with this guy. So let's find out what slow does.
Slow is the target receives a slow token. Unlike other conditions, slow does not affect at the beginning of the character's next turn. It lingers until removed instead. The next time the affected character receives a move effect, it loses 2 movement points, and the effect from the slow token, removes their slow token from their board. So you can only receive 1.
Yeah,
so,
you can only get 1 as a redundant. Yeah.
Okay, so you
So 2 movement points. Each movement you have 3 movement points by default. So that would make you only be able to move 1. But then you lose a token, and you can move multiple times on your turn, up to 3. A hero's turn consists of 1 free movement and 2 action cube actions or whatever. But you could spend an action cube to just move, and we'll show you that. Okay. So now we know how he works. Look, can I see the skeleton just so we can go over? Like I know how the skeleton works, I think, but let's just review it for people watching. So the skeleton's immune to bleed, moves for 4, attacks for 3. Multi-shot, he's going to be able to shoot 2 in range, and then again hit. Oh, I already went over this, but he has 9 health. I don't think going over.
that's okay.
Yeah. So Mel's marked the health. Yeah. I think going over the skeleton already.
Okay, so I'm going to start here, I think, because I am first in the initiative track based on...
Yes. Oh, that's
Oh.
another thing. I need to ask, for those watching, whether you're here live or you're watching in the next couple days, I don't know what the hell to pick for these. Okay, this game is neat in this aspect. You pick a character, and you have starting weapons based on what they can hold. So I'm playing Lorelei, and based on her having hero proficiencies in implement, weapon, relics, cloth armor, and trinkets, means that's what I can hold over here. So I know my starting items are kind of locked in, because in the starting items, the only implement weapon is a wooden staff. Where on attack, I have to roll 7 or higher on the d20, and if I do, I hit for 3. And it's a ranged weapon, but obviously it could be a melee weapon if I use a melee cube to trigger a weapon attack, whatever. We'll get into that later. And my armor is just locked in for now as cloth armor because that's all I'm proficient in. So twice I think I can use cubes on it for myself as a reaction, preventing 2 damage coming in. But they give this thing called, and this kind of works with the initiative track, they give these little additional abilities or skills, whatever. These are called dungeon skills. Yeah, I think they're called dungeon skills. So there are 3 of these, 3 levels to them. So let's say striker. But there exists support, defender, leader, controller, striker, and I think I already said defender. And they're all on this track here. So Mel's playing as the defender role right now. So she's starting on initiative. Initiative goes, we resolve everything along the top, left to right. Then we go back to the bottom, left to right. And then back around to the top, left to right. So I'm going last in initiative order. Mel's going first. And then we have enemies in between. But if Mel was the leader, she'd be here. And if I was the controller, I'd be above here, you know? So based on what you choose, on your roll, it can add to what you're doing. It can give you additional abilities. It can fill in some weaknesses. But we're playing 2-player, and I tried to look this up online. I was on PGG trying to read through other people asking the same kind of question. I wasn't really getting too many clear answers for 2-player. But if you have a recommendation on what dungeon rolls Mel or I should be using based on me using a elf mage and Mel using a elf assassin. So she's kind of like a poison, bleeding, rogue, melee, stabby, stealthy kind of character, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is similar to what you're playing in like Iridia, right?
Yep.
It was similar to that, but you don't have traps, not in this
traps.
game yet.
Not yet. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
And then I'm playing the mage, and normally I would play the character that has a bow, crossbow, the archer range type character. In this game, though, the only range character we have, like that's actual a ranger or archer, she also comes with pets and traps. So I didn't really feel like playing that style. And because she focuses on weapons so much, that means I'll be rolling this die. And since I rolled this die so much in our Iridia playthrough, for however many episodes that went on for, I didn't want to do it in this game. Because in this game, if you're doing a spell attack is what it's called, they're usually weaker, but they have unlimited range, and they always hit. I never have to roll a die. So I thought, if I pick a mage in this game, I can still attack at range. I'm still kind of weaker and squishier on the health, but I have some good movement to move around the board, and I still can hit everyone everywhere kind of thing. But I don't have to roll a die as often because she does have weapon attacks, so I will roll a die. I do have a weapon, but I have other ways to deal damage using just magic attacks, basically, that don't roll this die, and I hate rolling this die.
Yeah, it's guaranteed damage.
Yeah, it's just guaranteed damage at unlimited range, which is even better than range attacks in the game. So that's why I went with a mage. But then I was also sold on the controlling element of the game of using telekinesis and knockdown and stuff. I thought was really fun. I was like, I'm in the mood for that in this game after just playing Ranger, Archer, whatever in the last kind of campaign game we played.
You want to throw enemies around a little bit.
Yeah, I thought that was neat. I like that stuff. I like push and pull and Gloomhaven and stuff. Knocking enemies into traps and on bad terrain and stuff. So I thought it'd be fun in this game to do it. And this game does obviously have hazardous terrain and all that stuff. So, yeah, that was the mood I was in. So that's what I picked. But the dungeon roll part, we're playing 2 players, so we can only choose 2 of these rolls. And I would assume Striker needs to be in there. Because Striker's just straight up gives you more ways to hit. So, for example, you just get to take these. And you can switch them after every scenario. So you can, you start with level 1 and level 2 of it, I'm pretty sure. Mm-hmm. And that gives you 4 more places you can put dice or maybe a passive ability. So if I'm the Striker, I have another way to heal 2 health and cleanse, so get rid of poison and curse cubes to keep us going in the battle longer. I get +1 to my dice rolls if I'm using a weapon, which again, I don't use weapons that often maybe, but I do get other ways to use weapons. So this does help on here. This twin strike, I already have kind of a twin strike on my character already, but this is just giving me another way to use it. Because remember, once you put a cube on a spot, you don't get it back until basically think of it as all your cubes used up. So think of it kind of like a deck building game, right? Where you got to play through your whole deck first, and then you shuffle it all back around, get it again to play with, and it might happen in a different order, your choice. It's kind of like that, like a little engine of cube management. So, but you could recall early, right? But and then it has this mortal blow. So this mortal blow is kind of cool. I think how crits work in the game. If you roll a natural 16 or higher on the die, you first add the damage from your weapon, +1 damage, and any other effects or whatever that are involved there are first. And then if you hit a 16 or higher on the die, you actually double all of that. So that's why it's called the mortal blow there. Normally, you have to hit a natural 20 to do that, but this allows it to happen on a 16 or higher. So Striker, eventually you'll be allowed to unlock more for your Striker, and you'll get this added to your wheelhouse. You get side A here. So you get this eventually when the game tells you after a scenario your reward is unlock the next level of your dungeon roll. Okay? And no matter which dungeon roll you're using, if you ever switch dungeon rolls in the future, you still have that unlock on the next dungeon roll you pick, which is kind of cool. So it's tied to your character. And then eventually you can unlock side B, which just gives you an additional ability on the same list. So
triple strike.
Yeah. And look at this. Execution. Target enemy, 6 or less HP. Bye-bye. insta kill.
It's great.
I feel like in a 2-player game, in a game like this where there's a clock ticking, you have to kill enemies, get them off the board. It also keeps you alive. We have a couple of clocks ticking. We have the time clock of the bag is going to get empty of tokens, and once it's empty, it's over. So that's going to happen at the end of every round. Maybe 1 token gets pulled, maybe 2. In this scenario, none are getting pulled until a certain enemy shows up, if it's the same situation as last time when we played. But beyond this, normally in the game, once this bag's empty, it's over. So you're in a race for time. So it's kind of like one of those dungeon crawlers where like you can't just sit there and smell the flowers on every map tile. You got to kind of keep going. But also, you also have the clock of you can only lose all your health twice, because every time you do, you get a trauma cube. If you get your second trauma cube, the whole party, you're all failed. So if I lose my 8 health on my character twice, and Mel even has all this extra health, all this extra defense, great. But if I die, I'm the weakest link because I have less health and I'm squishier and don't have as good armor, we all lose. Okay? So obviously killing enemies faster means less enemies are hitting us back, which means less times we lose health, which means less times we go down, less trauma cubes. So we're fighting that timer too. So I feel like Striker should be in the mix just because more damage output is like a game with a clock. You need that output. You can't just be a defender, healer, and turtle up. You're going to lose the game that way. That's just kind of how those games work.
Again, that one is guaranteed. It's 6 or less.
Yeah, but that's later. This is like, I don't know if we get this until like scenario 16. Like I have no idea.
I'm just saying, like, guaranteed damage is always good.
And then Mel's chosen the defender, but I don't know if that's what she should have. But I feel like the defender should be in the party. I feel like we might be using, so we'll look at them all right now.
One thing I just want to say, because Yogi has an interesting comment though while we're going through this, is to be honest, I have no idea, but I would just want to be above the line. So I would try controller regardless of how they work. He would say just to be above the line. So not leader, Yogi, just controller, I guess, but...
Oh, really?
But that's what, but he says that he has no idea, but that's just what he would try to do.
Like I don't care about the point in the initiative track because it kind of only matters like the first round of the game, right? And the enemies we're not going to kill them in the first, even if I went before these two, I don't think there's any way possible where we're going to be able to kill one of the enemies. Do you think? Before they get to actually activate the first time?
1, 2, 3. It would depend on rolls.
Are you sure? Even with rolls?
Hard to say. Like I have poison and this one's immune to bleed. It's hard to say.
Well, no, it's not hard. It's got 7 health, mathematically, 7. If you did a perfect hit on that.
If I did hit on this and
it would
hit
be
on
3
this,
damage.
That would be 6 damage.
But he's immune to one of them.
Poison.
Well, even this guy's at 12 health. So this guy would be the more likely to do it, but he's immune to bleed.
Yeah, but...
So your bleed's not helping, but the attack would. So
yeah,
3?
So it would be 6 damage. If I did both of these, 6 damage plus poison 1 when he activates.
Okay,
so that would be 7.
You could kill this guy.
It's 9, so you'd have to put some damage there.
Although you can't reach that guy right now. This is impossible. So that can't even happen.
No, I can move. And then...
But if I was before, I could help. No, but then if you moved, right? 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah, you can get there.
And then I do my 2 attacks.
Okay, maybe Yogi has a point. Okay.
But he's saying controller,
I don't like admitting that, but...
He's saying controller, not leader, so you would still go after the skeleton archer.
No, but just in general, he's trying to say going before enemies, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I'm going last in initiative, right? So, like, me going up here somewhere. But, yeah. I just picked Striker just because I thought it should be in the party. I don't know if it's what I should have. So this is where I'm confused. We looked at him yesterday, and I couldn't decide. I feel like I need something more defense, but then if I take defender, Mel's up in the frame, or I think that's bad too.
Yeah, I only took the defender. This is why I immediately took it. I took it for the +3 health because I am more of a melee fighter, meaning that I'm going to have to be adjacent to enemies, potentially taking more hits.
And it gives you it gives you a 3 HP buff, right away.
Yeah, 3 HP buff, and it gives me the prevent 3 hit.
Yeah, this divert is huge.
And it also gives me the shield too on the other one.
And the way to heal, like all this extra stuff.
So it all just sounded good for me being up front.
Yeah.
But again, maybe this is not the right class for me. I don't know, or the right role.
Yeah.
But this is why I initially took it.
But yeah, if you're watching this later and you're like hardcore in this game and we haven't we could change any point during the campaign and change back. It doesn't matter. So if you have any comments down below based on our characters, 2-player count, which classes, which roles, which dungeon roles would you pick or recommend we try out, We'd love it. But we can look at them here and talk with the chat for today for fun. I think it's a cool part. Like there's so much deciding here.
I didn't even look at the level 3 either. I only looked at the
Yeah,
level
because
2
you can change it. So that's the best part.
I didn't know how long I would have this or before we got level 3, so I didn't want it to come into my decision.
So the support one, I was kind of feeling like support, and this is just me, is dungeon crawling tropes, right? Fantasy game tropes is like support class. When Mel and I always play 2-player, I'm not going to pick a supporty character because you need other things filled in. Like support is when you have like a 3-player, 4-player, 5-player. You add a support role in, and then other people can pick up your weaknesses, right?
Yeah, like if we were playing this with Kyle or 3 players, I would play a support character probably.
Yeah, but the cool part is you can still play like a melee brawler, brooding dwarf that's got like shields and heavy armor and swinging axes, and still give them a support to turn them into kind of like a paladin type of character, right? Like a little bit of healing and stuff. So there's a support role you can take. And it gives you another heal 2 incurs, a bystander passive ability whenever a hero ends a movement adjacent to you. And again, anytime it says adjacent in a 2-player game versus like a 3, 4, 5, I kind of go like, adjacent, we might not be beside each other very often in a 2-player game.
Right.
But in a 5-player game, you're going to have heroes all up in your business all the time because it's the same size maps, but more heroes together, right? So these are kind of like, oh, I have to go to adjacent to you to try to gain a shield. I mean, that's still cool. But I don't really want to get close to you because I mean I'm close to the enemies because I'm a ranged character or melee, right? So it's like, But it's just one thing on the card. I might really want this because let's say these are awesome, right? Veil of Light, up to 2 targets, prevent 2 damage coming in. I'm assuming I could choose myself and you, and if the archer's shooting both of us, we can block 2. So this might be something I should look at right now. Because there's a range of enemies in the scenario and enemies that are hitting 2 characters, so with cleave and stuff. Healing Gust. Up to 2 targets, heal 2. So I can heal myself, can heal you. Okay, that's still good at lower player count. So like support might matter, right? And again, I can dump support for the next scenario or in the future, every time I go to camp between scenarios. Some scenarios are linked, just like Gloomhaven, and you won't get to go back to camp. So you're stuck with what you got. But you could have protective wards, up to 2 targets, shield 3. So like, if I take this, this will help keep me more alive and you more alive. So you go defender, I go defender, or maybe you go striker for more extra damage just to kill enemies faster and rely on me to be healing you, preventing, and shielding you.
Yeah, if you took something like this, then
but at 2 players, this like what I should be taking. I don't know. And maybe it's balanced so does work at all player counts. What's another one? Leader. Leader, I feel like, again, should be at a higher player count because it wants adjacent allies get +2 to their hits.
Yeah.
If we were both melee characters, maybe I would take this. Because I'd be adjacent to you while we're fighting the same big enemy, trying to crush them, you know. But a target ally. So if I put a yellow cube, you have to be adjacent. But if I put a green or blue cube, those are unlimited range in this game. Because that's like the magic cube and the agility cube. Those have unlimited range. The red cube is the range cube, so up to 1 blue square away. I could target you to make a weapon attack hitting twice. So you do 2 separate dice rolls, 2 separate attacks. That's kind of cool.
I think you're using the cube to target the ally. So
that's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, okay.
If I don't use a yellow, like I don't want to be beside you is what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
So if I use blue cubes and green cubes and red cubes, I can be my ranged role in the back line and still letting you slice guys up.
Yep.
And then assault, target ally may move 3 and make a weapon attack +0 to the roll, but +1 damage.
Oh, I love plus damage.
Yeah, so this could be a thing. And then let's just look at the next one just for fun. A passive, whenever you roll a 16 or higher, target ally may move 3 and make a weapon attack of +0, +1 damage.
Wow. Interesting.
So that's the leader role. So like, again, but like, obviously this would be better if we had more players on the board, more heroes, because I don't know if I'm going to be on the same tile as you within range. You know, I might not want to use my blue cube and stuff like that.
Yep.
So, and then the other one, controller, I think is like my favorite stuff so far that I've seen in the game.
I did like this one, yeah.
So this boring old, like we see the same thing on all of them, I feel like. The self-assured, whenever an enemy dies, you just heal 1 to yourself. Doesn't matter who killed it, I don't think. Just, you can only heal yourself. And then you have this magic attack, which again, you don't roll a die for. And depending on the color you put on here, the colored cube, it'll change the range of it. But you could do 1 damage and stun an enemy. which I'm assuming stun means they skip their next turn. I would hope in this game.
I would hope.
I've never read it. I don't know.
Either.
And then a gravity push is 2 damage and push of 3, which I assume means just push away from you, but could push them into a trap on hazardous terrain, away from you so it can't reach you.
So it's different for monsters and heroes, but when a stun involves a monster, that monster loses its attack action for that turn and then removes the stun. It will still take its move action.
Oh, okay. So it just stops them from attacking.
Yeah.
So knockdown is how to stop them from moving, and then stun is how to stop them from attacking.
Yeah.
Trying to remember this, man. It's like being just a little different than other games, but we knew this from Gloomhaven too. The changing the way like bleeds and poisons and stuff work. Everyone wants to do it a little different. But yeah, so we're just gonna take us a bit to learn the new ways. What is tonight? I think I went over all of them. But here's the thing. I am a controller. Like I already have ways of knocking down and stunning. No, I have ways of knocking down and telekinesis, so moving. I don't know if I get more of it when I unlock more abilities. But if I wanted more ways to control, I'd take this. Mm-hmm. But do I want to get more of what I already have? Or do I want to fill in stuff I don't have? That's the thing. I don't know. And this right here is analysis paralysis. But it's cool. It's like a cool decision to make. And I like how you're not locked in. But I feel like, again, if you're playing a solo all the way up to 5 player, at every player count and based on the heroes you're playing, it's going to be different decisions, right?
Yep. Fill stuff you don't have. System.
Yeah, I think so, Dominic. That's what I was thinking. I don't know. Do I just go striker so I just have more ways to make damage? Like more ways to weapon attack?
Yeah, the chat's really agreeing that you should fill in what you're lacking.
Okay. So I'm definitely not taking controller because I already control. You already stole defender.
I mean, defender could go to Rob if you guys think... Yoki wants you to pick one randomly and then complain about it for the whole episode.
No. No. That would be the usual way to do it. Yeah. I mean, I could do a poll. I wouldn't do random.
Yogi likes defender for me. I agree. Okay. Good. So I'm keeping this. I did steal it, but I'm keeping it. For now. We'll see. If it doesn't work for me or I'm not using it and it should go to you, then we'll reassess. I think I like leader or striker.
Yeah, leader I could just make you attack more. That might be fun. It would put me up here, so I'm before those enemies, but...
Yeah, which was part of your...
I know. I like if we can change it. That's kind of neat. So I should just use this as an experimental, try things out. I've already tried striker. Mm-hmm. We dabbled.
Do you like it?
Yeah, it's like more attacks is great. Like...
Does it have... what's the passive?
The passive on striker is just like makes complete sense. Like weapon rolls, I just get a +1 to my dice rolls. Like that's great. Like that is great.
And then what's the passive on leader? I forget.
Passive on leader is adjacent allies gain +2 to their die roll on weapon attacks.
I mean, if we start like this.
I know, but I'm not going to be near you a lot. I know I'm not going to be near you a lot. So this passive on leader is kind of just a waste.
Yeah.
Most of the time. The passive on support, whenever a hero ends a movement adjacent to you, again, not going to happen really. I give you a shield. Not happening. And controller, if we're just looking at that, whenever an enemy dies, I heal one.
I mean, that's not bad, but I don't know that that's the right role for you.
Yeah, Buell says do striker because the passives are... That's exactly what it came down to for me. It was just like the striker passive just made sense. And extra attacks are extra attacks. Like,
yep.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going striker. I'm just putting them here. They don't normally go here, but I guess I can put them over here. There's room. There's room.
You want me to put them to the side?
Wherever you want to put them. You can put them up above.
Yeah, put them up above
whatever.
Now.
I was thinking like items. Items are supposed to go, like you have 2 backpack items. They go below here. But I didn't want to leave that space on screen just wasted. So when we get items, we can just put them wherever. Like, I don't care.
Okay.
But you can only hold up to 2 in your backpack.
Okay.
All right. Striker it is. But it's a cool aspect of the game. It's this like little additional dungeon roll thing. It's neat. And you could just ignore it too, like never use those things and just use what you have access to. And it just literally sticks you in an initiative order.
I think you're the same, yeah.
I'm down here, yeah. Okay. So, you're first.
Okay. So I think based on my positioning, I don't need to move if we're fighting the executioner first, if we think that's who we should take out. Now, the only...
He hits for 4.
Yeah, he hits for 4. He does hit both of us if he can. This guy also hits both of us at range of 3, but maybe I'd rather get rid of this guy first.
If you don't end your movement beside him... Oh, no, he's going to go before me. Yeah, I was going to say I can knock him down, but...
He's also not immune to bleed or poison, so if I did the same thing we were talking about, I could put 2 bleed on him and poison, meaning he'll take 3 damage at the start of his turn.
Not bad, not bad.
Plus, if I'm successful, I'll deal 6 damage. So he should be pretty close to death.
Okay.
Okay, let's try. Let's start with a deep lunge. Using a yellow cube, I'm already adjacent to him. I get +2 on my roll. 13 plus 2 is 16, or is 15. I only needed 7. So I hit him for 3.
Okay.
And then I do bleed 2.
Put it near the dice.
It's a different color one. Oh.
Put it near the dice, not on the card. Because remember, we might have more of the same, so just get used to putting the tokens by the dice.
That's true.
Just like it would on that sheet.
And then I'm going to do, for my second cube action, I'm going to do a poison blade. This gets +3 to my roll.
And if you do any damage, he'll get poisoned 1.
15 plus
nice.
3. Okay, so that's another 3 damage, because my weapon does 3 damage. And poison 1.
So now he's going to lose like 3 health when he activates.
Yes.
And then the next turn he'll lose, if you do nothing else to him, 2 health, because...
Yes.
Oh no, the bleed goes away. Poison stays. So then it'll just keep losing 1 beyond that.
Yeah. But I mean, if you can do some damage on your turn.
Yes. I just have to get 3 off of him.
And then I can move. I could move to make it so he can't hit both of us.
Yeah.
Which is probably a smart
And you probably want to
idea.
start getting towards the next enemy, right?
Yeah. Maybe I go 1, 2.
Is there any way we can get the archer not to hit both of us on here? No, right? You'd have to be like... Yeah, if you went up to this square, I think, and if I stayed in this square, which I... Or, 1, 2, actually, I'll just go to this square. You can go after him. Go after him.
He's going to go before us, though. Before you.
Yeah, but...
Oh, if he goes here, he can't hit you. So if I go like...
No, but he'll just move to this square and hit both of us.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think there is a way we can avoid him on this tile.
If I go there...
So how monsters work in this game, they don't go after the closest enemy. They prioritize trying to hit as many enemies as possible. It's the way everyone assumes these games work, but then you find out, oh, monsters are dumb, or they're slow, or they're not that smart, you know, like... But in this, the skeleton will move within 4 spaces.
He'll move to this square.
Yeah, he'll move wherever he needs to move to hit both of us. That is his first priority. And if he can't, he'll try to move to get to the strongest player with the most health. Even if you're literally like right beside him and you're lower health than me, he would do whatever he has to try to get me or both of us. In this case, he's multi-shot. He'll try to hit both of us. So yeah, I would just not be adjacent to this dude. But again, as long as we're spread out, this melee guy can't cleave both of us.
Exactly.
That's the best we can do.
I do also have retaliate 3, so when he hits me, I can retaliate him, and then he'll be dead.
Okay. So anyways, move the initiative token to the next. So it's the Skelly.
Yep. So he can move for up to 4.
Yeah, so he's adjacent, so he can't do a range attack. So he is going to move, he'll just move 1, 2, 3. Now he's not adjacent to anyone to stop him from attacking. He's not engaged in combat. And now he can attack both of us. So he'll just do that with no dice rolling.
Yep.
Ball Guy Games, thank you for the super chat.
Thank you.
Says, I'm very excited for this playthrough. Thank you for doing it. Mel and Rob and Mel. Was this the Apocalypse version all-in pledge? I think it was on the Apocalypse crowdfunding, but we didn't get the all-in pledge. We just got the base game that came with the stretch goal box. I think it was called like the Spoils of War or something. And that's all we got. We didn't get any add-on stuff, but we did order the we ordered from our local game store. They had the player mats in, so we ordered those extra. But it is the 1.5 rules, the reprint that was on that same crowdfunding campaign.
Thank you so much for
thank you for the super chat.
Okay, so he's already moved. He's going to attack both of us for 3. If he hits, it's poison.
Well, he's going to hit me because I can only prevent 2 max is all I have. So
that. Don't need this one.
Which cube do I want to use up to just defend?
Yeah, I'm going to prevent 3 using this red cube, so I'll prevent all of it.
I'm going to use the yellow cube.
So you need to take that?
Yep. So I lose 1 health, and then I take poison 1. Okay, so that's the skeleton done.
So let me go down here to the executioner. So we're starting with his statuses. So he's going to take 3 damage.
Yep.
Lose the bleed, keeps the poison. That doesn't go away. Okay, now he wants to cleave 2, bleed 1, and slow. He can move for 4.
So he's going to go after the strongest.
Which is me.
I'm only at 7 health. So yeah, he'll just move 1 here. And now he's adjacent to you.
Okay, so he's going to hit for 4. I think I might just let that happen. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bleed 1.
Okay.
And slowed. Slowed. And I will, for a reaction, I will retaliate 3.
Okay.
So he's just dead. Give that to you. And
I'm going to keep it out. I don't know if on the next tile it's just going to refer to the same gray or not, but
okay.
I mean, we could do a new one. I don't know.
And then it's good because this guy's right here and I can only move 1, so
okay.
That's good. Okay. So now
my turn. So I take poison 1. Okay, let's. This guy's so much health. Knockdown doesn't really good work on him. Telekinesis doesn't really do anything to him right now. So I think I just do Magic Bolt. So he's range 1 for me, so I can hit him. I do 2 attacks, just rolling twice. 3, not enough, but once per turn is my passive ability. Another reason why I picked this character, as much as I hate rolling dice. Once per turn, you may re-roll a d20 roll you just missed. So I just missed. This is +0, so I have to get 7 or higher. 6, so that's a miss.
No, you got +1 on your precision. Your passive is.
Oh
+1.
yeah, I forgot about that. Okay, so that's a hit. Sweet. 3 damage on this guy. And then the second hit of Magic Bolt. Again, I need 6+. Sorry, thank you for that reminder. No worries. 13. All right, another 3 damage. And my second cube action. There's 3 left.
While you're thinking about that, Ball Game says, well, I'm putting this out there now. If you decide you like it and you want any of the expansions, I have all of them and would be willing to donate them to the channel.
Oh my God. I'm a ball guy. Where are you from in the world? I need your country right now. If you're in Canada, let's do this, maybe. But if you're in any other country, we may have to find out the shipping, customs, tariffs, all this kind of stuff is even worse than it used to be.
Yeah.
So before I used to take games from people, but it'd always be from the US, UK, somewhere else in the world. And I would always get charged like customs fees, or like the UPS guy would show up at the door and be like, hi, I need your credit card because you're going to pay an extra $50 for this thing that some publisher sent you. And I'm like, what? So now I always have to check with publishers and people from the channel sending us stuff to like make sure the customs paperwork's filled out right, make sure you use certain shipping partners. But yeah, it's Washington State. I don't really care what it costs. Oh, don't say that.
Let's figure out. Let's just play more than the scenario first.
Come
back to us.
Let's try to get through a few episodes first before we're like, we love it.
And sleep on your decision.
Yeah, because that's also Mela's take on the painting, I'm assuming. Unless you say you've painted it all.
No, I think Ball Game said earlier in the chat that they went all in and it's in his garage.
Oh no. I saw the all in. I saw how many boxes are in that all in, and I was like, oh my God, like that's scary.
I mean, though,
but if you love the game, like, oh my God, it's so much goodies.
Honestly, though, it wouldn't even be worth like adding other enemies. It would probably only be worth adding additional like content, like going through additional scenarios, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. But we'll chat after we've played through more of the game.
Oh my God. We'll talk. We'll talk.
And I want the chat to
in a few episodes.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. I'll see where I'm at.
My passive didn't trigger yet, but I want you guys to help me. And so whenever you roll 16 plus, the attacking's poison 1. So I rolled 15 was the highest that I rolled there. So I just need to remember that I got that.
Okay. No, you're not interrupting.
No.
That is valid.
Rob was thinking, but then I distracted him by saying that probably.
Buell says, if you're in Washington, then a quick trip to Vancouver, BC and ship it from there. That honestly would be like the smartest way. But
no, we can't ask that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, well, no, it's like whatever. Yeah. Because then you avoid then it's only shipping in Canada, which is still far, but you just avoid that border crap in the middle. But that's assuming you have it in like your car and you get through the border without anyone harassing you. Because sometimes they could be like, "What are you bringing across?" And you're like, "Oh, just a bunch of board games all in shrink wrap," And then they're like, they assume you purchased them and you're trying to bring them across. Oh, you'd have to
unshrink them, yeah.
Even that, they might be like, what are you doing? You'd have to say like, oh, I'm bringing this game to my friend's house when we're playing. We're just playing a whole campaign over the weekend,
Oh, you're a retired cop. Border is really not the problem.
Oh, okay.
You have the inside. Okay.
Nice. Okay, I see.
Okay.
I see.
That's awesome.
I see how it works here.
That's awesome.
With power always comes corruption, I see. Okay, anyways. All right. So let's... You
were deciding your other action cube.
I don't know. I'm just worried I could kill this guy and we're fine. But I would have to hit. And that's the problem. It's involving rolls. I've already used my one reroll. Or I could just hit him for a little bit of damage.
I mean, I get to go before he goes. So worst case, it's not a big deal.
Oh, in that case...
Like if you want to...
I could use my move action and a cube action, and we can open the door.
Yeah.
Or not a cube action, a minor action to open the door if you think you're going to kill him. But we will add other enemies to the track, I'm assuming. Mm-hmm. And some of them might go before...
Probably not before me.
Not before you, no.
Maybe. There's 2 spots that they could go before me.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but...
I doubt it. Huh. I don't know if I should be rushing it like that, but...
Do you have any heal that you can do?
Yeah, true.
Just get prepared?
Yeah. I could actually get rid of this poison. Maybe that's what I should be doing. So what I'll do is... Let's go heal 2 and cleanse. Which will get rid of this. Even though I was trying to wait on that, but I have another one here. Get rid of black cubes, but I don't want to keep bleeding or losing health from poison. Mm-hmm. Okay, done. So back up to you.
Yep, back up to me. Okay, so bleed 1 I take first, and then this is gone. I am slowed, so I can only move 1, which is fine. I just need to move there.
I think it still fires off that you're trying to do a move, you lose 2 movement points, so it's gone. Yeah, I think, right? Because now you can't move anymore anyway, so. Unless you spend cubes.
Okay. Oh. Oh, no. I can do...
Oh, that's cool, yeah.
Rewind.
Yeah, I know people in Vancouver that cross into Seattle all the time, too. Yeah, it's a cool thing to be that close.
Okay, we're rewinding that because I have this. Because I need to get my other cube so I can deal damage. So we'll put that there. Move... up to 3, but again, I think I'm limited by my slow, which is still fine. And then up to 2 adjacent enemies, poison 1. Okay, but that gives me my move. Now all my cubes are on my board, so I can take a unwilling recall action, bringing them all back. And then I need to take a black cube and cover something. I think I'm gonna do this. Put that there. Okay.
Oh yeah, in that tub. We should replace
I
all
put some of the. I put.
I know, but we should replace the white ones. I didn't know how much we're gonna be using white. Just put a couple white with the other ones, and then fill that with black.
I will do that. Okay, I'll do that.
I realized that. I wasn't sure which cubes we'd be using so much and stuff.
Okay, let's. Because it might be good to have some shields for the future. Let's do this. I don't need to move, but it's shield self 2. Shields are on this one. Okay, shield self 2, move 2, I don't need to move, and attack +0 on my die. 3. Oh no.
That's a miss.
That's a miss.
Yep, that happens.
It's a miss. Shoot.
So is that your turn?
I could move, which I just will.
How?
Because I haven't used my free move. I moved with this and with that.
Oh, you got a free move?
Well, you get a move in your turn, which I have not used
yet. What did you do? How did you move before?
I moved with this to clear, to get, because I wanted my cubes back.
Gotcha.
But now I'll just do my free move, but I can again only move 1 because I'm slowed. Okay. But I do have 2 shields, so I guess I can still block his damage. But it's annoying.
How did you get slowed again?
I didn't use it to clear it.
But you did when you move to this guy.
One, yeah.
Every time you move, you just lose 2 movement points.
Yeah, okay, so then I'll go there.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. You should have cleared it after the first one.
I don't think I'll open the door. Do you think that we wait?
I don't know. I mean, you can do that starting next turn, but like, do you want the enemies, if they're there, to move closer to you so you can reach them? Or would, like, I don't know if they're going to be ranged or not, but or would you rather at the start of your turn you open it and then you have to get to them?
You're right. Maybe
I don't know. It's like, yeah, it's up to what you think you need and what situation you're in, right?
Yeah.
Because you are the melee guy, so you gotta like move to get to things.
Yeah, maybe we let them come to us, so then maybe I use my minor action or a minor action to open the door.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
So door opening, here we go, our first door of the game. There's like 100 of these in the game. Other thing I want to do, I was waiting for you to finish your turn. I forgot, for fun, if you can just show those 2 trays that are off camera just for fun. This might scare you away from the game if you've never played it before. Here are all those different tokens in the little tray they come in, plus some companions and stuff. But they don't all fit in the token tray that it came with. Poor design. But we have an extra little tray on the side that we added in to fit even more tokens that couldn't fit in that tray. So yeah, there's a lot of tokens. So many tokens. So just, if you're afraid of fiddling with tokens, this might not be the game for you.
I mean, after Iridia, this is a breeze.
Yeah, it's true. Ball Guy Games, thank you for gifting 5 memberships to the channel. Thank you for your generosity.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to our new members. Thank you, and returning ones. Thank you. Much appreciated. After run, enjoy the new members. I'll catch the video rewind. And I was very serious about the expansions. We'll keep in touch. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you so much.
Okay,
thank you. Yes. Very kind. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All
right, so our door. So the doors are folded up like this. I pre-folded all of them, put them in the box. But there's more than one. I see for a lot of scenarios they have more than one, which is cool.
Oh, neat.
But this one, just as a simple scenario, there's only one for chapter 1. But it shows the name on it, so I know it's for chapter 1. And then we open it like so. And in it, so again, there's the QR code thing. So it tells you there about the door database that I talked about. But inside, this feels like very FFG app driven. It's their way of not making an app, just hiding the next area from you. It'll obviously use the QR code. You're basically like playing an app-driven game at that point, but or an app-assisted game. But in here, it gives you some story, and it'll give you the setup, the monsters, and even some rules changes and stuff and triggers in here. So it keeps it kind of secret from you if you don't peek ahead, which I think is very neat. And Mr. Dade Hell, if I'm saying that right, I'm so sorry. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you.
Welcome.
Chad is cutting grass, watching playthroughs.
Careful.
Yeah. Whoa. Chad, please do not operate heavy machinery.
Like
yeah. Please do not operate heavy machinery while watching playthroughs here, please.
That's amazing.
Same speech I give to people driving and watching. All right, don't be doing that. I'm not responsible for any toes that you accidentally cut off. But yeah.
Or hedges you accidentally run over.
Now I'm picturing just pushing a mower, but it'd be funnier
if on a
Chad's
riding lawnmower?
on a giant riding motor, like a screen on the front of it attached to it, like big speakers and stuff. Like,
Oh my God.
yeah, doing it big. But I mean, I don't know. It's a funny situation either way. But thank you for watching, Chad. All right, so let's read this. You push past your enemies, advancing through the bushes. Ahead, a small clearing serves as a garden for a hut. You can see the silhouettes of two people through the broken windows, conjured by the flickering light of candles. Stay away! I'm not afraid of you. You hear an old lady snarl at unwanted visitors. However, it seems that your rival has diverted their attention away from the woman. After all, determination glows in your eyes, and you are not a helpless grandma. ... Okay, so we need Dungeon Tray 2, and under that we're going to have a water tile. This is the same that we played when we did the learn to play scenario thing. Mm-hmm. So I do have it pre-ready here, so we don't have to sort through a bunch of stuff. So I am going to put this in this orientation, and it attaches here. So it is at level 0. We're at level 1. So just to move there is no problem. Move back and forth. But again, it will change based if you're attacking an enemy at higher or lower elevation. And then next, I need Dungeon Tray 2, which is one that has level 1 and level 2. So that's as high as it goes in this, at least in what we own. I don't know if it does get crazier. I'm not sure. But this will go on here and overlap. Again, this reminds you of like Descent. You know, paper underneath, mm-hmm. like the stuff building up, but just not as insane. So
not as high.
Yeah. And we're not going underneath anything, so it's like, okay.
Yeah, I did see bridges that are possible.
Yeah, but you can't go under them.
True.
You're not allowed to go under them in this game. So, but Descent, it gets nutty. So on here, we're gonna have the most important thing, a chest. Again, we'll paint up those other ones eventually, but for now we just got the boring old little tokens, and don't let me forget that chest. I want to get it.
Yep.
Problem with this game, almost made me throw the game in the garbage. Every time you open a chest in this game, you must roll the trap die. And I mean, it has a blank or two on it.
Blanks.
2 blanks. Otherwise, it's going to give you, and even though it doesn't have a 2 on here, which I don't know why they didn't put the number 2, but every time you get a symbol, you're getting like 2 instances of it, except for slow. But you're going to get burned twice, bleeding twice, poisoning twice, or slow once. So you could possibly lose a scenario by opening a chest. And not the fun way where it's like one chest every now and then opens up and damages you. It's like every time you open a chest, you're like, not every time, 66% of the time or whatever it is, you're going to get hurt. So keep that in mind. And I love looting in games, but this makes me like, do I want to loot? Really? Like, oh, we're getting close to the scenario, and like, if I lose just 2 more health, I could get my second trauma cube and we lose the scenario. That now I don't want to touch the treasure chest, right? Like,
but at least it doesn't affect you till the next time around on your turn.
True.
So potentially you're still okay. Or maybe somebody could clear it for you.
Yeah, so it's interesting.
Yeah.
But different. So yeah, so we're definitely going to have a white monster. Oh, this is a situation that was brought up earlier. So white monster at rookie level. Would the skeleton be in consideration for a white monster at rookie? Or because he's already in the scenario, we're supposed to pick a different white monster we're not playing with. But then we're also going to have a white monster shadow cultist. Could that first one be a shadow cultist? Could it be a skeleton? Are those in consideration? So could we have 2 shadow cultists? This is where I had that question come up, and I wanted to ask it on stream. So if you're watching later and you know, leave it in the comments below, let me know. If you're watching now and you know, let me know in the chat, obviously. So I think we'll draw random, but not include the shadow cultists, based on what we talked about earlier with Yogi mentioning it should be a different monster. But then all those white monsters would be the same. But we only need to go up to this gray one here. But then again, what's this gray random one? do we put the executioner in the mix? Is it already the executioner because he's in the scenario?
Was he gray? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was gray. So I just don't know exactly how this behaves. I don't know in the rules if it was clear on it or it was. No, I don't remember. But I don't want to pull it out right now and read the whole thing. I don't think it matters that much. But for variety, what I'm going to do now, unless someone tells me otherwise, we're going to do a different white, but it will include the skeleton as an option.
Okay.
I don't want it to be a shadow cultist, so we're going to have shadow cultist and some other white monster. And then the gray, we're going to do something different than the executioner.
Okay.
Just to show some variety in the first stream to people watching to see some different monsters who maybe don't want to watch beyond episode 1 for spoiler reasons or something.
Sure.
Or just interested to buy the game, play themselves. Yeah, we'll just show some different stuff. But I don't know if that's how it's supposed to work. So, all right. So we have, from white monster choices, we have skeleton. We have a walking horror. And we have shadow cultists, but we're not going to include shadow cultists because they're already being added in. So it's a 50-50. It's either a walking horror or a skeleton. Roll odds or evens on the D20. Odds, evens.
Even.
So it's a skeleton.
It's a skeleton. So
Okay.
we're going to make this skeleton red.
And then we have a shadow cultist. So shadow cultist is new that we haven't seen yet on stream. Immune to poison. Its range, 9 health, 4 attack, 3 movement. If it hits you, you're going to get burn 1 and curse 1. And also it's going to have some special rules for the scenario that we'll read in a second on the back of the door card, or inside the door card. And then the gray miniature, it could be Shadow Vampire, Bone Reaper, or Rotten Flesh. We could roll, I'll just roll a D4, and then we'll say it's 1, 2, 3. And it's a 3, so it's going to be a Shadow Vampire. Shadow Vampire, immune to knockdown and immune to stealth. I'm assuming that just means it can see you if you're stealth. I don't know why you would want to stealth it, because that's a good thing for it. Melee, 12 health, 5 move, but it jumps when it moves, so it can basically jump over the water and not have to waste a movement point moving through the water. And if it hits you, it's going to drain your health. You lose 1 health, but it gains a health, is how I think that works. And then 5 attack.
Okay. And then, can you just pass me that door card for 1 second? I just want to see where these all guys all go.
Yeah, I put it up here.
So the white rookie was a skeleton.
So that top left corner of Dungeon Tray 2.
And then
The Shadow Cultist goes here on B3B.
And then the other guy.
And we got the chest token, and then the gray.
Back corner here.
Yeah, gray 2 goes really far away.
Okay.
He's got his beat stick, ready to come and beat you. Another skeleton, and then this guy. This guy is our Shadow Cultist. Okay, so now we have special rules for the Shadow Cultist that we need to go over. Special rule, Cultist Summoner. So at the beginning of the White Monster Shadow Cultist Rookie's activation, right after it suffers the effects of any of its conditions, so if you can poison it, bleed it, and it dies at the start of its turn, obviously it doesn't continue with this stuff, you must draw a rune. So that's from the bag, we draw a rune tile. On the back of that tile, if you can just show the tray of tiles for darkness.
Yeah.
We'll place a darkness tile shown on it following standard behavior, which will make sense when we do the first one. But these are darkness tiles. They come in all different shapes. Copyright Tetris. And you put them on the board, and they chase down the strongest hero. And if they catch them by going underneath them, they will do some damage. And it also, again, strengthens enemies on top of it. And enemies now, for their behavior, if they can get on top of a darkness to get 2 extra damage to attack, they will do it. And it'll keep chasing us. So normally, there is a card that will do it on the initiative track. But for this first scenario, they're being kind of gentle to us. They're actually making an enemy create the darkness, so we could actually kill that enemy to stop the darkness from spreading, to make it a little easier for us. So he's now a priority for sure. And it does say if the Shadow Cultist is on darkness, it must be placed next to the darkness connected to the Shadow Cultist.
Okay.
And then it has an event trigger, Old and Sweet. When the last enemy is defeated, read special event, a sweet old lady on page 10 of the adventure book, which will show that eventually, hopefully, assuming we don't die. And that's door 1. So that's how a door works in the game. And there's a whole bunch of them. And every scenario has a certain amount of them. which will kind of hide the rest of the scenario from you, which I think is neat. I like when games do that, where you don't know the whole scenario right from setup. Yeah, so you're not sure how to plan accordingly. It's per room. Oh, okay.
Like this.
Oh, Yogi says you did a quick Google and you did the spawning correctly. Okay.
Alrighty.
Thank you for that.
My turn is done.
Okay.
So we're going to the skeletons.
Yeah. To be clear, opening doors interrupts your turn, but if Mel had extra stuff to do on her turn, let's say she was just standing beside the door and open the door, she could take her whole turn after that. You could have done a cube action, move to that door, minor action, open the door. You couldn't open the door if you're engaged in combat, which engaged in combat just means there's an enemy adjacent to you somewhere. You wouldn't be able to take that minor action. You can't take any minor action except for 2. The minor action of using a consumable item is able to be used if you're adjacent to an enemy engaged in combat, and you're allowed to, what's the other one?
Gain a focus, I think?
Gain a focus. Or use a focus ability. We haven't mentioned it, but on our board, there is so much on this board, it's kind of overwhelming, but it makes sense once you understand what it all is, but we know what our skills are. Okay, we know all these docking weapon parts, and then on the bottom we got some backpack stuff, and we know our proficiency. This is an area where you put cubes, I should have went over this before, where you put cubes to do movement. So just to show that you're using up a cube, if I can use any color cube to get 3 extra movement points, to do another move on my turn, but it does take up my cube action. This obviously where you put available action cubes. Here's rules reminder, on your turn, you can move 3 for free, and then 2 action cube actions. Okay, and then down here is a path you're part of. And this matters, I think, in skill checks, story stuff. So I'm part of the Path of Mystics. You're part of
Cunning.
Path of Cunning, okay. And then these 2 purple lines here, there is tokens in the game called focus tokens, which you can gain anytime you do something like mine here that says focus 1. If I put a yellow cube there, I could focus 1, it just gives me a focus 1. And then you can get up to focus 4 is what you can have on your mat at a time. But you can spend focus tokens as a minor action. And in the rules we're playing for 1.5, it says in the rule book, on your turn, you're allowed to do every minor action once each. You can do as many as you want. So you can open a chest, open a door, use a consumable item, use a focus action, but you can only do each of those things. There's another one. Oh, trading items with another player adjacent to you, exchanging with your backpack. You could exchange weapons or armor in your backpack or with another player. All that stuff you can do once each time on your turn. Unless you're engaged in combat, the only 2 you can do are using a focus action by spending the tokens, firing off the ability, or consuming an item. So if you had something you need to heal or whatever, you could do it. So that's minor actions. I forgot to mention opening the door is part of that. It's a big thing. So is the chest. Those are minor actions we have right now. There's also tokens to interact with on the board. That's a minor action, but we don't have those in the scenario that I see. So yeah, there you go. So you could interrupt movement with a minor action and continue your movement, but you cannot interrupt your movement with an action cube action and then continue. You lose all the rest of your movement in that case. So it's like a middle ground. Like I love games that are flexible, that you can move, do a big action and keep moving. Mm-hmm. Those are my favorite, the super flexible, agile ones. This is kind of half and half, where you can do minor actions and do that, but not major ones, which is a little annoying.
Okay, so we're going to go to the skeletons. Both of these guys are going to act. This guy first, though, is going to lose
poison.
1 for poison. And then he goes first.
So he just has to move here,
yeah.
and then he's able to shoot both of us.
Yeah, for 3.
Okay. So I'm going to prevent.
Oh, my shield. So I have to use the shields I have. So it's 2.
I'll prevent 2. Take 1, and I need a poison token, please.
Yeah, I'll take 1 and poison. Okay, and then the one, the red up there, he can move up to 4.
Oh, yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Ooh. So he's going to hit me for 3
He
as well.
is, yeah, he is adjacent. Yeah.
Maybe I should have done something different last time, but that's okay.
Yeah, and I believe water in this game works a little different also than most games, is when you enter the water, you lose 1 point of movement. It doesn't cost 2 movement points to get into the water. It only steals a movement point away from you. But if you use your last point of movement to go in the water, you're totally fine. You don't have any more. And the cool part in this game is anything negative that is terrain or darkness tiles, lava, spikes, water, no matter how many times you run into it on your turn, pass through it, how many squares you run through, it only can affect you once per turn. So if you entered the water, you would lose a movement point, but then you can literally run circles in the water all turn and you'll never lose any more movement points, which I love. I think that's really neat. So no matter how much lava is there, if you really need to get across lava to kill an enemy, you're only going to get hit once and get burned from it, and you're not going to get hit again that turn. But it's once per turn. So if an enemy then moves you in, like a big enemy comes and displaces you, and you moved in that lava again, not on your turn, you're going to take that burn again. And then on your turn again, if you're trying to move out of the lava, moving out is fine, but if you move through it again, you're going to get burned again. So it's like, it can get out of control, but at least on your single turn it doesn't, which I like.
I'm going to prevent all 3 of that incoming hit from that skeleton. Okay, so it's both of these guys. Coming back down here. The vampire, he can move for 5. He's looking for melee and he jumps.
So he like literally just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he can get all the way there and hit you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see how he doesn't.
No, I probably should have done this before, but
block some damage, man. Or retaliate or whatever.
I'll prevent
you can only do 1 reaction per threat you take.
The other guy has range as well. This guy, he's range. Okay, I'm gonna prevent 2. So I have to take 3. 1, 2, 3, and then I can move for 2, which I should have done before. I should have done it probably on this guy.
You can say you did it. You know how this enemy works. We have played with this enemy before.
Yeah, I just didn't think that he could reach me. But I didn't want to take the point. No, it's fine. It's fine. I can do what I did. But I'm just looking at the cultist. He can move for 3. He can jump down.
So he does want to get you really bad. So he won't jump down and take 2 damage from 2 levels up if he can avoid it.
No, he'll go.
But if he's ranged, right? So he just needs to get to this area so he can go 1, 2, and he's on you.
So I'll just go here in my move. Move 2. Okay, I've taken all my damage.
Jeez.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to heal 2 on my next, but.
Yeah, but then you're not attacking something. And we still have this guy chilling. I know he'll die in 2 turns on his own, but that's still
I really wish that attack could hit.
Yeah. All right, Now what?
Now it is your turn.
So he didn't hit you, or he did hit you?
Yeah, he did. He drained 1 health from me, but he's already full. But I think I still lose
still takes the health, I think.
Yeah.
So now it's my turn.
Yeah.
I lose 1 from poison.
Oh, is that focus?
This was I don't really have that. Damn it.
Sorry.
Yeah, 1 blue cube to use. And I could move. So what I can do, he's a melee?
Yes.
Oh, do we do his
No.
Oh, he hasn't gone yet.
He hasn't gone yet.
Okay. So what I could do, like this guy's melee, so I could use my blue cube to just knock him down. So he'll get up and he won't attack anybody.
Yeah.
So maybe I do that. It does 1 damage to him, which, I mean, he drains people, so he'll probably just get that back. But I knock him down. Actually gets a token.
Oh, yeah, he gets a token.
It's not like knockdown like normal in miniatures games. So put a token by his dice, the knockdown one. So I think he'll just waste his movement getting up from the knockdown.
Yeah, and as long as you're not adjacent.
And then, because now I've used up all my colored cubes, I get them back. But I need to take a curse cube for that. And I'll just throw it on... I'll throw it on this jump 3 focus thingy here. I think. All right. I want to cleanse this away, but I don't know if there's a point when there's still 2 skeletons that are still going to add poison to me, probably. So I'd rather just clear more of it off at once, but that could get out of control. So I need to kill one of these guys. That guy's got 2. I just need to do 1 damage to him.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I do blue. And I can do magic missiles up to 2 targets, 2 damage.
Oh, okay.
And it's unlimited range, no dice rolling. So what I think I would do it to is 2 damage to this guy and 2 damage to our yellow skeleton.
Okay.
So he's gone. And was that, I did 2 cube actions or just, what did I do? Oh, I knocked down, yeah. And I did that. That's 2 cube actions. Now I can move. I think I need to move back here just so the skeleton can't move here and then get me and you, but I know you'll probably be somewhere different.
Yeah, I'm probably going to just jump down here. Because if that guy's knocked down, then he's not going to hit me.
Okay. All right. So next.
You're done?
Yeah.
Okay, so next is here. He has no conditions that we need to worry about.
So he's now going to make darkness. So we're going to draw a token out of the bag.
There's lots of tokens.
I know. So we're good. Like we have plenty of time. But in the future, it'll be drawing 1 or 2 at the end of every round. So we just need the little like 2 length one. And then this little darkness thing would go under him and trying to reach the strongest, which right now is actually me. But this won't fit on the tile. Like it'll go under him, I think, and then
hang off?
Yeah, but it can't hang off. It's not allowed. So what it does is it breaks down into 3 little tiles. So it'll create darkness here. It'll create darkness here. And it's orthogonal, I believe, only. So it won't go diagonal. And it's just going to actually, we can put it like this. Is still valid. Still getting closer to me. Mm-hmm. And that's it. Then he's going to do the rest of his turn.
Yep, so he can move up to 3. He has range.
So he needs to go 1, 2, 3.
Oh, yeah, so he still will hit me.
And he still can get you.
Uh-oh.
I know, but like this is what happens.
Okay.
That's why I say you should have done the take back on that one, and like you knew.
Yeah, but I still would.
You knew when you see them how they're gonna move, right? And you can just easily look at their cards and know what can reach you.
Then I'll go here. Because then he can't hit me. I just didn't want to get hit by that guy too.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, we're still learning positioning, but like I said, in any game where the enemies can move diagonally, they can get you every time. It's very annoying. But it also means you can get to them, but when you want to get away from them, it's like not possible usually. Okay.
He's done.
So another thing to note that doesn't matter in this scenario, but we add these runes to the initiative track on the matching symbol. So you draw these, you put them here. Right now it doesn't matter, but later there'll be enemies that do X damage or move X spaces or have X ability, whatever, burn X, I don't know, whatever, X. The X means how many of the rune where they are. So this shadow cultist, if he had like, I guess, curse X or something, it would be nothing because there's no token here. But once we start adding tokens here, it starts increasing the value of X on his card based on the symbols of the runes above him. So that's kind of a cool mechanic that at the start they're being gentle to us, but I'm sure it'll get nutty. And you might find an enemy more of a priority to kill based on how many tokens have been drawn from the bag versus the next time you play. It can change it up. So another way to add variability, I feel, which is good.
Okay, that's gonna go back to me.
Yep. We need to kill one of these guys. Now, this guy is the true problem, and we know he's a true problem because he creates darkness. And darkness is great, like whatever, it's all the way over here, who cares? But when the enemies are able to start jumping on it to get +2 to their attack value, we're gonna die really fast. Mm-hmm. But this guy also smacks huge and drains health, so he kind of like hits for 6.
And it could be 7 if it's in darkness.
Yeah, and 8 if it's in darkness, because I'm counting this. I'm counting the drain.
Yeah.
So, but if you kill him, then you don't have that buff of darkness. Mm-hmm. But he's not going to get us right now. He's knocked down. Yeah. And I can try to knock him down. Well, I guess I can't every turn, but I do have telekinesis too, which I might try next turn to maybe move this guy back further. Yeah. But he still might get you.
I'm going to take a poison first to start my turn. I'm at 2. I need to heal. Oh, I I don't think.
But is healing going to keep you alive? Because if it's not, and you get knocked out, you're going to be ignored by all of these guys, and then you get to come back up full health. But if you heal right now and you're going to get knocked out anyway before it gets back to your turn, like, doesn't matter. It's like a waste. You might as well just go, you like, run in screaming, Leroy Jenkins, get it done.
Well, what my thought process is I can heal.
Yeah. But only like 2, right?
Yeah, which is fine. I could heal first.
Yeah.
Then this token will be used for the retaliate.
Yeah.
On the first attack, which will be the archer.
Oh, I see.
Then all my tokens will come back. Then I have diverts and prevents and moves for my future if I'm not dead.
Okay. Okay.
But
I like what you're thinking. But I don't know. It's a lot of damage you might be taking. Mm-hmm. You won't be taking it from this guy yet, though, because he's knocked down.
There's only 2 enemies that are going to attack.
As long as you don't go near him. You have to be like this space to attack this guy, or like down here somewhere to attack this guy. But I can telekinesis. The range guy won't matter, but I can telekinesis like this guy 3 away before, but he'll still be able to reach back and get you, I'm sure. But but it might help with the darkness. Like if I move him away and he creates darkness elsewhere and not close to us, that'll save us damage from other enemies trying to use the darkness. Yeah. That's my plan, at least.
So what I could do is I could heal with the blue cube. This archer is not immune to poison, so I could use the blue cube to heal. Then I use this cube for the poison blade. I'd have to move to right here. I think I'm going to go down anyways after my turn, which is fine.
Okay.
I would have the retaliate, because all my cubes would come back. I would have a retaliate, I would have a divert, and I would have a prevent, which I would only need 2 anyways, because... Okay, let's try. We're going to heal with the blue, which heals 2, going to 4, and cleanse 1, so I can remove a curse cube and poison. So that's good. Then I will move 1, 2, and I'm adjacent to this guy.
Yep.
So
you are at higher elevation, so you actually get +2 to your roll, right?
That guy's immune to poison, but that's actually fine. We still need to get rid of him. Yeah, +2 to my roll.
Then do the bleed one then.
Oh yeah, I can do the bleed one. Bleed 2.
You got flex. You got a poison knife. Yeah. You have a poison knife and you have a bleeding knife.
Yeah,
Which I don't know why both knives don't create bleeding, because all the knives I own, they make me bleed all the time when I'm using them.
Okay, we're gonna use the bleed knife. You're right. So I have +2, and I am at higher elevation, so I have +4 to my roll. Oops.
Now, see, this is going through Mel's head right now. She sees an 11.
Yep.
And anyone who's watched the channel long enough for the last 12, 13 years we've been doing this, but is Mel's logical thinking. I know how she works. She sees this 11, she goes, do I want to just pretend that roll is fine and take it as 11? Or do I want to use if it bounces out of the tray, I have to re-roll it. But
then it could be worse.
So Mel instantly was like, yes, I rolled an 11. I'm going to just take this.
And then I looked at him like, is he going to let me or no?
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, what's the rule on it? Is it bounce out, we have to re-roll it?
However you want to do it, but we have to do it going forward. At least you have to follow the same rule you decide. I can choose my rule how I want to do it. Because I want to roll with this cup eventually, because eventually I'm sure we'll have bigger areas, so I won't put this dice tray on the screen all the time, but yeah.
All right, we'll go with how we always play.
Yogi says smells always right. Okay,
oh my god, this is so good. So
the dice gods looked upon you and they said, you made the right decision, Mel. You weren't a filthy cheating bastard like normal, making up your own dice rules every single roll.
Yes. So I'm glad I did that. Okay.
She's the type that's like, if it's a cock die, like, do I care about enforcing the cock die rule now, or is it like kind of a good result, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I am doing for this guy, I am hitting for 3, but it's doubled, so I hit for 6.
Damn.
And then I do bleed 2, so he's gonna die on his turn. Okay, this is great.
I'm assuming the bleed 2 doesn't become bleed 4.
No, I think only your damage is doubled, not your modifications.
All right.
Okay, so he's dead on his turn. Okay, that's great. This is great. Now, all my cubes have to come back. And I have to put one of these, which we'll put on the same one. Okay. And I did my 2 action cubes. I'm done.
So skeleton. He wants to get to like this or this to hit both of us.
He can only get to here because of the water.
Yeah, so when he moves, so he's going to see if he can even. So what he would do is like, okay, well, no, he'll lose a movement point moving in the water. So that's 2 gone, 3, 4. So he can't get somewhere where he can hit me also. So I think he just chills, but because he can't get to me at all, and I am the strongest. So I think at that point, he just kind of like, I'll take the next in line and just shoots you and stays still, I think. But the enemy movement is a little wonky in this game. It's a little different than other games. Like I said, it'll take us some time to get like used to it. But I believe that's how it works. But also what I think right now actually would happen too is if darkness was around that he could still hit you, he would actually move onto darkness to get the bonus damage. But if he moved right now back onto darkness, he is now not an adjacent blue. The only ones he could hit are these adjacent ones here, but he can't hit your blue square here.
Right.
So he has to kind of just stay where he is, I think.
Okay.
To still get something done, because the enemies in this game, they just want to kill somebody and like really want to kill the highest health by default. But if that can't happen, then it's still heroes they're going after. And then if it still can't reach any heroes, it'll go after pets or companions and stuff. But always heroes. Like they're bloodthirsty, these guys. And they will move however it works. Even if they have to move through lava and stuff just to get that kill.
Okay, I am going to block all 3 of the incoming damage to me. So
Nice.
no damage.
So no poison either.
No poison.
Because he blocked it all.
Yep. Okay, so he's done. We're going down here.
So he's knocked down. So he's going to lose a token, get up. Can't attack anyone because he's a melee dude only.
Yep.
Next.
Next is you.
All right. So I take poison 1.
Oh, I thought it was going down that round, but getting rid of this guy is good.
Okay. So I don't have to worry about the darkness dude. He's literally going to die before he creates any darkness. It's insane that that's happening.
That was amazing. The
20... Such a different play over like our practice play.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
Well, that 20 on the die roll that doubled the damage was like huge. Can you do the same thing to this guy again?
Like knock him down again?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, I don't have any blue cubes to do it.
Okay.
But I could telekinesis him, but he's got jump, so he still just like gets back in the mix. So I probably should just start attacking him.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because I don't have blue. I use the blue for that 2 damage. I can. No, I can't. There's no way. Oh yeah, there is a way.
It would end your turn though.
Oh yeah, it does end my turn. Yeah. The willing recall, where if I get down to only 2 colors left, I can take a black cube to get everything back. But yeah, it automatically ends your turn, so then I can't use the other cube. So I know what color cube I probably want to get when we get our next abilities. Another blue would be nice. But yeah. So let me think then. Oh, the skeleton's still alive.
Yeah.
But knocking him down only matters if you like run away or like away.
I know. I was hoping that we can get up
run
there.
To that chest.
Yeah.
And you can squeeze between them. In this game, another cool thing.
That guy will be dead. So.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. And I just want to state another weird thing in this game, which I like, is you can't move through enemies, but you can always squeeze between to go from one square to the next. No matter what's there, like 2 chests would be there or whatever, you could still squeeze between them, which I like. That's kind of neat. Okay. Yeah, I forgot about that loot. Gotta get that loot.
Yeah, I can try to get it.
So I wonder. I wonder if there's a way to move the skeleton in the water. One, 2, like back here, where then he can only move, but he still can go 1, 2, 3. He'd still get to here.
And then he's adjacent.
But as long as we're not in any one of these ones, so if we get up to here, or you're back here, you won't get hit. Or here, you won't get hit.
Yeah, you can use additional cubes to just run.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go after the skelly. I'm not in range. I gotta move first.
But if I go up there, then he can just do like a jump up and then get me or something.
Oh yeah.
So
true.
I think we have to move back, which I don't know if that's smart.
Never mind. Okay. Well, 1, 2, 3 movements, so I can do some range attacks. I do have this twin strike up here, magic bolt here, mortal blow, crit on a 16+.
That would be funny.
Yeah, let me try Mortal Blow because it's funny. So I'm going to do a range attack so I can shoot into the next or here. I'm going to try to get this skeleton. Is he really the worst guy right now, though? He's not the worst guy. I'm going to actually fire on this guy. So I get +1 to my hit. So if I roll a 16 plus, though, it counts as a critical. 7, that's not, but it's a hit still, and it does get +1 damage. So it's actually 4 damage to that guy. Not him, this guy.
Oh, sorry. You're right. We changed. This guy, 4 damage.
So he's down to 7 left. Okay. I think I'm just going to go YOLO on this guy. Oh, but then... Oh, you go first. As long as you're not beside me, we won't get cleaved to death.
Nope. And potentially, I might be able to hit him.
Okay. So then what I'm going to do is...
Oh, you could have re-rolled that.
Oh,
Yogi's mentioning.
But then if I miss... Oh, but then if I miss... That's greedy.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah? All right.
Well, I mean, you can leave it. That's
Well,
what you
it
did.
technically didn't miss. I don't think I'm allowed to.
Oh.
I'm only allowed to re-roll that you just missed.
Oh, he didn't miss. Yeah.
I think it's only ones I misses. Yeah. Like you said, only misses. But I still hit, so we're good. Yeah. It's not,
are you thinking about doing the twin strike now on him?
yeah, or just an extra damage on telekinesis, so it's like 4 more damage. Like doing 2 is not
Telekinesis
enough.
will move him probably too far that I can hit him on my turn.
Yeah, okay, so I'll just do a twin strike, magic bolt, whatever, they're both the same. So yeah, I'll just do 2 attacks, both for 3. 15, so he's going to take 3. And a 12 is take another 3. Okay. Yeah, so hopefully he's dead before he matters. And I'm done.
You're done. Okay, so this guy's going to go. He's going to take his 2 bleed and die before he can spawn. I'll give you the card. I'll take everything else. This goes back to me. Okay, now I can do something interesting, I think. Okay. Poison 1. Okay, yeah, we can do this. Oh, I don't have a green. Nope, we can't do that. Let's go.
I know, that's the puzzle in this game. You look and you're like, oh, I have the perfect ability open for this. Oh, I don't have the color cube for it.
Yeah.
It's exactly like the Gloomhaven like hand management system. You have all these sick abilities in your deck, but you can only pick so many on the card. Like this is literally a Gloomhaven card with a top ability, bottom ability. And it's like sometimes you can do both with like colored cubes, but like not always. It's like the same kind of concept, but just done with cube management versus card management.
Yeah.
Which is, I love that kind of like little engine restriction Euro game kind of little mini game thing going on. I can see how getting like tons of those cubes, tons of abilities, it's going to be so fun.
Okay, we're going to
But like overwhelming.
join the fray.
Yeah.
Shield 2 myself. And move 2. I can jump down here. And then I get an attack with +0. We're attacking this guy. Let's just get this guy
Big
off
boy, please get him out of here.
6 +0
That's a miss.
is not a success. Okay. So then, I'm sorry.
Kill him.
Then- It's really
And
annoying.
then we can leave the skeleton and go loot.
All right, well, let's do this.
Oh yeah, you should have just done something that got a but then if you missed, you wouldn't get
Yeah.
the bleed on him
Yeah.
or poison. Yeah.
All right, we're going to get the one that gives me +3. Actually, no, we should do the +2 because this guy he's immune to bleed, so I can use it vice versa. Okay, so I have +2 on this one. 4, 5, 6. Serenity now.
Welcome to games based on D20 rules. This is why I'm not a fan.
Okay. Well,
I know they're balanced for it. It just does not feel good.
I can
doing
move
it.
still because
Yep. But watch out, he can get on darkness if you're near that to hit you. So don't be like against the darkness, because then he'll get +2 damage on it.
okay. Now I already moved. Is the water?
Technically, he's coming after me because I have higher health right now. Oh, when I bleed, I'll go to 4. We'll be tied. I don't know what happens in a tie. Oh, initiative order. You'll get attacked.
Okay.
Unless I heal, then I'll be attacked. But
Okay. Then let's move. Now I already moved through the water. Is it each movement?
No.
So,
You only get affected by the terrain once in your whole turn.
Okay, so then I
I
can
obviously weren't
go
listening in that whole spiel I
1.
did. So that now steals a movement point from you because you entered a water hex once per turn.
I
So,
already did that. Like when I jumped down, I entered the water hex.
oh, okay. So you lost a movement
Yes.
point from that movement.
Yes, because it was moved.
But now
to
water will not affect you for the rest of your turn.
1, 2, 3. Then I'll go there. I'll start going towards that chest then. Okay. Maybe I can do that because I can't seem to hit guys. Actually, I cleared that guy, so I'm happy with it.
All right. So skeleton doesn't need to move. He can hit us both.
Okay.
But can he hit us both getting onto darkness? No. So he's just going to hit us both. So I will prevent 2 of it. So I take 1 damage, go to 4, and I'm poisoned 2 now. No, I don't need that because on the back of them they have another token technically.
I prevented 2, prevent 2, and move 2. 1, 2. Okay. But I took 1 and I took poison, so I'm at 3.
All right.
Okay. So yeah, that guy will come at you, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So he's going to move. He's going to attack for 5.
So I can prevent 2. Oh, he's gonna kill me anyway, I think.
Oh, because of drain.
Yep. So it doesn't matter. I'll prevent 2, take 1, 2, 3. And then he drains me for 1 last one and heals for 1. So that knocks me out. So I go knockout. And then I will.
I think you get to remove your poison.
Only when I think when I get back up.
Oh.
I think. Because I can't react. No one can target me or anything. So I don't think it matters when.
Oh, okay.
But when it comes back to me again, I'm able to get up, remove my curses and stuff. Or not my curses, my statuses. Get all my tokens back, go to full health. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. But. All right.
Oh, I didn't take the poison. I forgot I had shields here. So I blocked it all. So I'd be at 4 as well. Sorry. Forgot I had that.
So you would have been at 4.
And you would have been at 4, right?
And he would have gone for you. That changes everything.
Wouldn't you be at 4? Oh, yeah.
But you're higher in initiative, so I
sorry.
think that breaks ties, what I said
So
before.
then, hold on. That was after
and
I
he
did
was here.
this.
So
Yeah.
can he reach you? 1, 2, 3, no problem. He jumps 2. Yep.
Okay, so then
So you're actually getting the attack, not me. So I would
Oh, which means I can't get that chest while
go back to 4. I think. Yeah, and then I don't prevent.
Yeah, I'm knocked down.
What was happening? Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot I had those shield there.
I think that's where I was at. Yeah. You're dead for sure?
Yeah, because I only had 4. He hits for 5 and he drains 1. I didn't have anything else.
Oh, you
to
have
block.
nothing to prevent?
No, because the skeleton used my shields and I used that.
So you take a trauma. I think that trauma stuff does happen. Yeah. I think you do. You recover all your stuff, your cubes, and then you take a trauma somewhere. And it can be up here, I think,
this is
too.
almost the end, so I don't think I need this.
Yeah.
Because I have the cleanse up there. Okay, we'll do that.
Sean says, you'll get a trauma cube as well after being knocked out. Yeah. And then says, well, when you get put to 0 health, just tuned in, I'm not sure what knocked you out. And
An enemy attack.
Only 1 poison?
No, he still got hit by the
Yeah,
skeleton.
I got hit by the skeleton. The
second
skeleton
time.
poisoned me.
Yeah.
But the other guy just drains. But that's what would have killed me was his drain ability. He drains 1 health.
Could he have drained if I had no health? I only had 4. He hit for 5, so I had 0
No,
before
I don't
that.
think he hits you with the drain because now once you're knocked out, once you get down to 0, you're now untargetable. Nothing can affect you.
Yeah,
You're not even there really.
Okay.
So I don't think he heals off you because he needs to actually steal the health. I'm sure.
Okay.
But
So then, sorry,
maybe
that
not.
changes things there. Okay, and then it'll be Rob's turn.
Okay.
So now I have to get rid of that guy before I can get the chest.
So I
That's
take
fine.
2 because of poison 2. Still alive.
Yeah, but don't worry, I'll try.
Well, I think what I'll do is do an astral strike, which is jump 3, 1, 2, 3. I don't know. Sure. Or I guess it could be. Yeah, I don't want to go through the darkness because that will cause damage. Then I can do 2 damage, unlimited range, anywhere I want. So
Oh, thank you.
Kill that guy.
Rob saved me.
Don't even roll. Okay. Put that away in a sec. And then now I'm out of cubes, so I take back all the colored cubes. I need a cursed cube if you could. And I think this one, I'll just put, yeah, let's just put here. I think we're fine. Okay. Pretty sure I can put them on there.
Yeah.
Okay. And then
Oh, wait. Can you, you just can't put them on.
yeah, you can't put them on equipment.
Yeah,
that I know.
Good, yeah.
I'm pretty sure on these you can. But someone in the chat will yell at me if we're not, which I appreciate. Okay. Then I can continue. I can do my free movement because I was part of an agility. So 1, 2, 3.
Oh, you can get it.
Actually, before I do that, I can't range attack this guy. But I can do 1 damage and knock him down though. So 1 damage and give him a knockdown token. And then continue on my merry way. And then I'll I'm gonna die anyway. No, I can't hit him.
No worries. You have to heal?
I have to do the heal.
Yeah, because that'll get rid of your poison.
Yeah, I have to get rid of the poison. I forgot I'm like on death's door here. So what I'll do is let's just do a green cube here for heal 2 and cleanse, which will get rid of this. Let's keep this nearby since we still have a poisoning unit on the board. And then I'll just cleanse away this one. Whatever, I'll keep it nearby. Okay. All right. And minor action, now that I have some health, let me open the chest. So
okay, you're going to roll the die?
You roll the die for me.
Oh, no.
Just roll the die. Roll a big blank, fat blank. Nope.
No, poison.
Poison 2. See, this is why I don't get rid of the token. It's back.
But
the chest is open.
Okay.
And I think it's random from this chest deck. So let me just give this a quick shuffle.
That's so funny.
It's not that big. I think there's a bunch of duplicates in here when I was looking before, when I was unboxing the game. Okay. So I got a Scroll of Incinerates, consumable scroll. It's common, so there is rarity to these. So common, I think, means there's like 3 or 4 of these in the deck. But a rare item would be like 1 or 2 in the deck or something like that. And there's like uncommon, I think. I don't know, something like that. I remember reading the rules.
It was like 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, is that what it is? Yeah, that's kind of neat. But
common, uncommon, rare, and epic or something.
Oh, okay.
Something like that.
So this is consumable. I can put this in my backpack, which has to go in my backpack. And I can discard it for 2 damage at any range. It's a spell attack. And then burn 4 to something.
Nice.
So I'll just throw that here for now because I don't want to put it off screen. So you can just see that I have it. But you can only hold up to 2 things in your backpack, which are at the bottom of the mat here. Okay, beautiful. Yeah, that'll be good later. And I'm done.
You're done? All right, back to me. I get to stand up.
And then you go back to full health. So again, if Mel dies again and gets a second trauma cube, we lose.
My full health is 13. So then I can move 1, 2, 3. And then
you do get +2 to your rolls because you're attacking him from elevation.
Yes. Okay.
And
perfect.
you need those +2s.
I do. Okay, I have +2 and I have +3 because of my ability that I'm using. So I have +5 to this roll. 15.
Right.
I still can't get this for the life of me, but that's okay. So this is 3 damage and poison. Okay. And then I could actually, yeah. Do I just attack him? No, I have retaliate. Oh, he's going to go into the darkness. Yeah. I need him again. I was going to say,
and get extra damage.
Yeah.
No, don't worry about me.
Okay. Let's attack for +2. So I'm +4. 10 +4. Okay, we're good. So this does another 3 damage.
But burn, so he'll die, right? Burn 2? Or is he immune to...
He's immune to bleed.
Oh, he's immune.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Okay, so he goes.
He loses 1 for the poison.
And then we know he can go 1, 2, go on to darkness, and he can hit both of us. So he's actually attacking for 5 damage.
Yep. I'm just going to retaliate 3. I'll take the 5.
Oh, I'm definitely dying on my
1,
turn.
2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, but it'll be over, so it won't matter. Because I'm going to retaliate for 3.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I'll just prevent and take, he's in for 5, 1, 2, 3, and then I need another poison, technically. You can have up to 4 of every stackable effect or whatever.
Okay.
So I'm at 3 poison.
And then I use mine, I take the 5, I retaliate for 3, so he's dead.
All right.
All right.
Boom.
Oh, we did it.
So we win. A winner is us.
By the skin of our teeth.
Yeah. And now, when the last enemy is defeated, we trigger this event, which is kind of tough for, like, if you're going to get the chest, you don't have, like, till the end of the round to go get it after killing the last enemy. I think it just ends it right away. So it's different from a lot of the games we play, right? Where it's, I would lose out on that chest if we didn't, like, leave an enemy around to play with, right?
Yeah.
So, page 10, I believe, of the same book, which I have digital, right? So
yep.
I can. Spoilers, everybody. Big spoiler warning. Special event number 1, Sweet Old Lady. You deliver the final blow to the last of the invaders, and finally the surroundings seem safe to you. As their otherworldly screams fade into echoes, they are replaced by the shouts of villagers calling to each other in the dark. The battle has been won. Taking advantage of the calm, you approach your hosts, an older woman and a little girl. Naturally, they don't seem as calm as you are. After all, facing crazed men and unearthed skeletons is not part of everyday life in the country. Go away, shouts the old woman, brandishing a knife in your direction as soon as you take the first step towards them. Open the Book of Interactions to page 5. As a group, you and your partners must choose one option and proceed to its resolution. In case of a split decision, the party leader has the power to decide which of the tied choices will be taken. And in case you're not sure what the party leader is, it is literally the first person in initiative order, pretty much, I think. Oh no, it's not.
It's a
leader is first.
Leader's first. Oh, there's like a hierarchy.
Yeah, then there's like support or controller, then defender or something. But anyways, Mel's the higher, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think you're the leader.
I can see if I can find it while you...
But who cares? We'll just decide all together.
Yeah, we're fine.
But leader does change based on which dungeon role you have and how many people are in a party. And like, if a certain role is not in use, there is a hierarchy who gets the leader role. And they break like ties and all that kind of stuff. They make all the final decisions at the table. But we play enough co-op games together and with you guys that like, we'll just all be the leader. We'll work out whatever is best for the group kind of thing. But yeah, so page 5. I don't know if I have this too. So there's an Age of Darkness interactions book, which looks like this. So in the future, we could do like polls for this and stuff. I mean, we could do it right now even. But it's like a landscape book. And then it tells you kind of how it works. Normally the scenario would have interaction tokens on the board. And they would tell you based on which interaction token where you're going to go in the book. But right now in the first one, we're just opening to page 5, which the pages don't have numbers.
Yeah, on the other one it does.
Oh, down here, yeah. Which again, I talked about this before, I think, but having page numbers in the center of the page, very small pet peeve, but very annoying. When you're trying to flip through books, and the rules does it too.
Yeah.
So like when you're flipping in the rules, just at a 65-page rule book or whatever, and you're just trying to find a page number, but the page is in the middle of the page. Oh my God. Very frustrating. Anyways, so
1, 2, or 3 we have, right?
Yeah. So we have option 1, talk to the girl. Option 2, try to calm the lady down. Or option 3, step away and leave them alone.
Are we doing this or are we doing a poll?
Let's do a poll for fun for this one. I mean, we could do it in the future too. I don't know if there's any that can like end your campaign. That would be funny.
I mean, I don't think enough people...
I doubt we can end our campaign here on the first scenario.
No,
hopefully not, but...
Hopefully not.
So I'm going to put just 1, 2, and 3 in a poll in the live chat in a second here. And I'm going to hold the picture back up again. Actually, I can do it here. But feel free to vote in the live chat which option. So we have option 1, talk to the girl. Option 2, try to calm the lady down, or step away and leave them alone. So you guys can vote, and we'll go with whatever choice wins the majority. So if you're watching, open up the chat. There should be a poll in there. If you're watching on your phone or the web browser or whatever, it should be a poll in the chat. You can vote. And we'll go with whatever option, and we'll see where the story takes us. Mr. Dade Hell says, if I'm saying that right, I'm so sorry, says the chess die, I don't like it at all. I know I ranted about it already. What about home rule, like rolling a d20 and with a 10 plus the results don't apply? I could see that, but I have to, like, as much as I don't like it, I have to put trust in the developers and the designers of the game that they've play tested it and it's designed into the math and systems of the game. So I'm going to leave it.
For now, at least, yeah.
I don't know if the loot is that great, but it should be if you're getting punished that often. But it's probably balanced in the scenarios that, like, if you grab the loot, like, you have to make the right decision. The enemies, if they're not beating the crap out of you and you're playing really well, get all the loot you want. But if you're not playing well, don't risk the loot because it could lose the scenario. And is any of the loot really worth it? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if there's great stuff in there or not. I don't know. But I'm just putting trust right now that is balanced in the game. So whether I open all the chests or I don't open all the chests, it should still be worked in the game, that the balance of me not getting those items will help me win more scenarios. But if I take the damage and still get those items, it'll balance out that those help me win the scenarios too. So I feel like because they punish you so hard, that it's kind of a wash, which makes me not like the loot system in the game with the chests for that reason. Because it feels like you're going to get punished a lot for taking it, and you hope those rewards, they'll just balance out the punishes you're taking. So like, you're -1, then +1, so you're just at 0. So if I just don't take it ever, I just never lose health, but then I never get those little benefits, so who cares?
But those benefits are carrying over, so maybe the little health that you lose in that one scenario that saves you.
Which is why I like to treat it like the min-max situation, where it's like, take it when you're ahead, so the punishment doesn't matter. Like, you're paying the cost, but it's not costing you anything to get the benefit. So it's just up to the player for that decision point to really matter, hopefully. But I worry that it doesn't mean anything. It's just a wash, but who knows?
Especially in that situation, we're so close to the end.
But I don't want to make the game super easy. I don't want to make the game super hard. I just want to play at the default difficulty and see how it goes. But yeah, if you're playing at home, you modify it however you want. Like if you're playing with kids and stuff and they're like, you know, they just hate having bad things happen to them. House rule all day to make the game more fun, because that's the most important thing. All right, I'm closing the poll. Thank you everyone that voted. Much appreciated. 46% want us to go with number 2. Try to calm the lady down. Okay, I'm trying. So
it doesn't open spoilers, right?
I can read it not on the screen, like so.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if it's like little blurbs where it tells us like.
I don't think it goes to multiple pages.
Oh, okay.
What does it say? 2. Where is 2?
In the interactions book, I think you need to look in the other book.
Oh, it's in that same book.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. I thought it was back in the adventure book. Are you sure?
The other side. Oh, nope. I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Oh, okay, we're now confused. Hold on. We haven't... So it says, open the book of interaction as a group. You and your partners may choose one option and proceed to its resolution. Is this the resolution? No. That's after the adventure or end of the adventure.
Pass me that book again. Let me look at this one. Oh, this is literally just...
Oh, I bet it's in the back of the adventure book. I think they're all in the back. I think they're in the back. Maybe they're not. I don't know. Because it tells us... Does it tell us a number or something? Like it just goes to another picture.
Yeah, but like, yeah.
And here's just the... Oh, maybe it tells us here. Right here in the adventure book. Oh, at the end of the adventure book in the appropriate section. Yeah. Okay, I got it.
Oh, in that book that you're looking at.
So it's just entry number 2 we picked, right?
We'll get there.
Oh, I see. There's tons of entries here. Okay. Adventure interactions. Got it. I see. Okay.
If you put up on screen, does it spoil?
Yeah, so there is like in the back of the book here, there's adventure interactions and there's like talk to the girl, for example. But we're reading trying to calm the lady down.
Yeah.
Realizing that the older woman is too scared for rational thought, you lift your arms and ask her to calm down. Calm down! Stay away. The Earl's men may have abandoned us, but I still breathe and fight like the faithful subject of Elan that I am. You won't take any of my family. She threatens desperately while scratching at the air with the weapon she holds. Stand back, or I'll hurt you. You face a dilemma. As a group, you and your partners must choose one option and proceed to its resolution. In the case of a split decision, the party leader has the power to choose which of the tied choices will be taken. Oh, now here's option. So I have option, oops. I'm going to put another poll in here. 3 and 6. All right. So let's see if I can. I guess you can't really see if I do it like this. So option 3, you can vote for step away and leave them alone, or 6, insist on trying to calm the lady. So you keep pushing to try to calm her down, or do we choose that other one on the original page was like, just walk away. Just back up. Back up. Go home. You ain't got to go home, but you best get the hell out of here. So you guys can choose. Go ahead and vote. I'll just leave that one up for like a minute. And it's like finding the X on the annoying pop of that. And I'll take a sip of water while we wait. All right, closing the poll. Thank you everyone that voted. What? Yogi says, what I would do in real life or in a fantasy game? Whatever you want. I vote 6, but don't mess with someone with a knife and angry. Yeah.
Exactly.
So we're going to insist on trying to help. 76% want us to do. Insist on trying to calm the lady.
Okay.
So let me find where that is. 6. Okay. Realizing that the older woman's zeal results from desperation, you ignore her threat and ask her to calm down using a serene tone. Hey, lady, would you please calm down? All right. Make a wisdom blue skill challenge of difficulty 3. So yes, this game has skill checks. It does say each wisdom cube you have, which are the blue cubes, gives you a +2 bonus to your roll. If you follow the path of devotion or the path of nature, this challenge is successful without the need to roll. I have the path of mystics, you have path of cunning, so we don't get an automatic succeed. So Mel, you can roll.
I don't think I want to roll this one because I have bad rolls.
We both only have one blue cube, so it doesn't matter.
What do we have to roll? A 16?
A 13.
13. But we have +1. Or +2, right?
+2. So you got to do 11 or higher.
Yeah, you're rolling.
All right, you want to roll it? Here you go. 15, we're good. So I'll read the success says, disarmed by your tone, the older woman puts down her knife and lets the tears run down her cheeks. These last few days, it hasn't made any sense. People have been taken away. Others have reappeared wearing strange clothes and talking nonsense. Apart from the monsters are the others. She rattles out words almost incoherently while pulling the little girl closer to her. I have relatives in Umbral, and I'll go there with my neighbors. Some people think it's better to go to Black River because it's closer, but I don't know. I no longer recognize the land I was born in. Having said her last words, she leaves. Despite the cold goodbye, you sense their gratitude, and that is enough for you to feel like you have won the day. The party leader writes the boon of empathy aura on their campaign log.
That's me?
That's you. So you're going to write this under the aura section. Boon of empathy. Okay.
Oh, yep.
And this is what you need to know. As long as you have that aura, and they're removed when you received your first trauma cube or another aura, you can only have one at a time. They're like temporary little buffs or something. As a minor action, while you have that, they may take a trauma cube from a hero that is adjacent to them and place it on their board. Receiving a trauma cube this way does not end the effects of this boon. And now we're going to read the end of adventure, the right thing.
Can you just tell me what page that's on?
Page 85.
85, okay.
Of adventure book, I don't know.
Because I won't remember. I tried to take
But will you ever just take a trauma cube from me and put it on your board instead? I guess if I'm getting smashed and you're not, maybe, but
yeah,
that's risky business. But it is good if you have like a weak member of the party, but it only goes to the party leader. It's like not flexible that we can pass it around. But anyways, so now I'm reading End of Adventure, which I think is just, yeah, the right thing. Here we go. Need to check our body for knives poking out of it. All right. End of Adventure, the right thing. A little later, you rejoin your host in the village square, as around him a caravan of just over 24 people begins to form. Hurriedly, men and women pile everything they own onto the few carts that are there. I saw how you left after hearing that desperate scream, my friend. If I'm not mistaken, this is the first time I've seen even a small smile on your face. He tells you while you help the villagers with their preparations. And you are calmer, even if you don't realize it at first. Back there, you recall, you forgot your anguish and focused only on helping, choosing virtue, and doing what is right. Acting like that was always natural for you. But now you can see that you had started to give up this contact. I wouldn't dare tell you what's best for you, as I believe it's up to each of us to figure that out. However, I can see that you want to move on, and maybe the cure for you isn't brooding over what was. The priest throws it into the air. Few people I've seen run toward a scream in the dark. The adventure ends here. You may now proceed to the camp phase and read after the adventure, the road to Black River. Excuse me. So we'll do the camp phase in a sec, but I'll read this right now while it's open. When the caravan stops to rest in the middle of the night and the camp has been raised, the parish priest sits by your side and admires the crackling bonfire with you. What happened to your dearest one and what you saw just now are not coincidences. Stories like these have been repeated across the land for the past few weeks, explained the priest. The woods are no longer safe. Many people have strayed from the path and the villages are suffering from incursions. There are not enough soldiers, and not all places have well-trained militias prepared in time. Something is wrong. You listen in silence, keeping your gaze steady on the embers as you fan them with a stick. The air is freezing cold. Black River is one of those places. The mayor has warned us to seek refuge far away in Valaria because he cannot protect us. However, I think it is in times of great difficulty that we need to stay together, and that is precisely why we're going there, to help with what we can, he continued. You've been wandering the crooked roads looking for something, and even you don't know what it is. But seeing what I saw back there, I'm sure you already have what you're looking for inside yourself. You cannot see this because you have chosen to wander the crooked roads, and that is normal. Throughout my life, I have seen people like you come and go through my parish, and I am sure by helping Black River deal with their problems, you'll be helping yourself deal with yours. Isn't it worth a try? Having said his piece, the priest went silent. Even though you didn't exchange another word for the rest of the night, you knew perfectly well what you're going to do next. Rewards. So we'll get the rewards in a second as part of the camp phase. We've never done camp phase before, so we're going to figure this out.
I think it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah. We basically need to take the crappy sheet that I want to throw in the paper shredder, but we can't because on the back side is the camp sheet. And on the back side, the other one is the final boss encounter health tracker thingy, so we need to keep those. But when visiting the camp, you just follow these steps. So this reminds me again, this feels like Massive Darkness 2, the little pull out a sheet, do some stores, or like Sword and Sorcery, the second wave stuff where like we pull out that little town and spend actions to go to different places. It's just not that advanced, but it's the same kind of like cute little flip a card over in the middle of the table and do stuff on it. Remove all condition tokens and resource tokens from your hero board. So resource tokens just mean like shields and things like that, focus tokens. So I'm going to get rid of my poison. And then remove all curse cubes and trauma cubes. No problem. Here you go. Okay. And then recall all of your action cubes. All right. And again, we wouldn't be doing a camp phase if we were doing connected scenarios. We just continue on. But there still is some reset stuff you do between those. Recover all of your HP. Oh, I got rid of my pink cube.
Oh, you gave me a...
I know. I'm so bad with these cubes. That's why I can't wait till we get the health tracker thingy.
Yeah.
But hopefully that comes on Monday. Erase all statuses from your campaign log. We didn't have any. Ores and outcomes will not be erased. Receive the reward described in the Book of Adventures, which we'll do now, and then stash or retrieve any adventure items or camp items you want. So you can store items in, like, there's a camp item deck, which I believe we have level 1 camp items, that it'll let you get stuff from there, and then you can put stuff in like a little stash, exactly like those other games, where we can put stuff that we can't carry and might want to grab later and all that. But adventure items are like purple items, which are their own deck. I think adventure items are these, and a lot of them are double-sided, so they have like ways to flip them and stuff. But there's adventure items, camp items, treasure items, starting items.
Okay.
Are all the different types of items you can get. I think. Okay, so our rewards were each player chooses and unlocks a level 1 hero skill or dungeon roll skill for their hero. So for my example, that means we already looked at the dungeon stuff before in my rant about that. So that means already, and again, it doesn't mean you're stuck with the one you're unlocking. It's not like if you unlock Defender 3, you're stuck with Defender 3. If you switch to support role, you would already have support 3 unlocked.
Okay.
So it just attaches to your character. So you've got to record it on your log, I guess.
Can you pass me Defender 3 just so I can?
Yeah. So Defender, yeah, but I'll show you. So you take this. This is your one of your options.
Okay.
Okay. One of my options is Striker 3. So already getting that one that targeted me with 6 less HP.
Yeah.
I spend a yellow cube if they're beside me or a red cube if they're at range 1, and they instantly die. That's kind of huge. Okay, so that's one option. Then the other options, we have 4. So for Mel, she has 4 level 1 skills that she can have to look at. And you add them to the side of your board that matches like your agility section, your melee section, your range section, or your wisdom section. And it kind of just adds a new option in there. So you could have a weapon attack, take advantage, which is 2 hits, like 2 rolls. If the target has any condition, so if you're putting bleeds and burns and all that stuff on them, or if I get a way to put stuff on them, you just get +1 damage to any of the hits. That's great.
I like that.
Okay, or you could get, but here's the problem.
I know.
There's more to think about than just what this says. You will get a yellow cube if you take this one. So not only are you like, oh, I like this, but would you benefit from another yellow cube more than another green cube, or more than another blue cube, or more than another red cube? And I say blue cube here because I believe, since this is a wisdom, even if it's passive, there's no such thing as a gray cube, and you can't take any color, I don't think. I think you take whatever the color is of what it's attached to. Unless it's on a dungeon roll, I think you could take any color. I could be wrong. But I think you have to take a blue cube if it's a wisdom. But it might be any color. I can't remember. Someone will let us know if that's wrong.
Part of me just thinks I really want the melee one.
But also dungeon roll, if you take this dungeon roll, you can take any color cube you want. It doesn't have to, I don't think, be yellow or red. I think it can be any color on a dungeon roll. So you could just, like, based on how you just played and your default, what color cube were you missing that might be worth it more than which ability you take? But, you know, we're always going to probably pick the one that has the coolest ability because you get a cube that helps you get that ability going anyway.
And doing plus damage.
Yeah, so this does plus damage. You could get a distract, which again, this is a spell attack. Yeah. So it's no dice rolling. You just get 2 damage to anyone at any range anywhere. And a jump 3.
2 damage.
So that gets you over. That gets you, jumping helps you from not taking, like, I think, fall damage. It helps you avoid lava, water penalties, darkness.
I think that'll be good.
And you can stealth yourself.
Future, but
you can change your crit to be passively 18 plus until you put a curse cube or trauma cube here.
Which that is also good. Not that I can even roll higher than 16, but.
And then there's still more to think about. And we're not done my ramble here. Concentrate is a self. You can get focus going, but it's a red cube to do so. But this is not all your choice. When eventually we will be told we can get a level 2 skill, I think it tells you can only upgrade a level 1.
Yeah.
So if you want the level 2 on this, you have to take this level 1 before we get the option upgrade to a level 2. I don't know if the game's in such a structured order, kind of like, I feel like Massive Darkness was that way, where it was like, you're going to get all the ones first. So I think it was Massive Darkness. Maybe it's a different game. But it was all the ones first, and then you start doing twos.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if this game is structured that way, where it's very linear.
But I think actually it's not specific. I think whenever it says you can take a hero skill, or like...
No, it tells you specifically. Like this one says level 1. And when it tells you to do a level 2, it doesn't say take a level 2. It says upgrade a level 1 to a level 2.
Oh, so we don't know if it'll say
So I don't know if you get to unlock all the level 1s and all the dungeon rolls before you start upgrading to level 2s.
Yeah, or will the next one say take a level 1, upgrade a level 1 to a 2?
Yeah, I don't know.
We don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, I just saw what was on the back of that.
I'm going to pass these to you and this one to you, and you just look at them and say, based on what you just saw, what would you feel like? And remember the color of cubes too.
Yeah.
So mine, I could get another green, invisibility, jump 6, stealth, so keep myself from getting attacked. A reaction, so when I get attacked, I could redirect, prevent 4, and then telekinesis, anything, including I think even the small darkness tiles.
Yeah.
I think I'm allowed to move these little darkness tiles around, the small ones. I could just like get them out of here. Like pull them out from underneath an enemy. Move them up to 6 spaces. That one seems pretty awesome.
Or underneath, if they're underneath yourself.
Oh yeah, true. Lightning whip. A weapon attack. +2 to my roll. +3 damage. Whoa. And knockdown.
That's so good.
Woo!
That's
Spicy.
So good.
And then Elven Memory. Copy one of your skills that is blocked by an action cube. So I have to spend a blue to do it. I don't know if that counts curse or trauma. I feel like it's only action or the other colors.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I don't know. I do want another blue cube so bad because I like both of my blue ones. But knockdown is so key against melee enemies.
And +3 damage. So what is your weapon base damage?
3.
So it's like 6 damage. Imagine you get to double that. Oh
I wouldn't.
I know.
I'm not playing that game.
I know.
We don't bet on great rolls like that. we play with the worst case scenario.
True.
I don't know. And then I also have the striker.
Oh yeah, that's good too.
Which is just a target enemy 6 or less, you're gone.
Yeah, no roll.
Oh my god.
Yours is tougher than mine, I think.
Yeah. So I'm kind of leaning to, I don't have much prevention. So I'm leaning towards the yellow one, the melee, so that I can not take so much damage and then still manipulate an enemy to maybe have it so it can't mess with us, which would be nice, or move it on to like harmful terrain and stuff. Or the red, the 3 damage and knockdown. It's still control, but it's also damage, which is huge. I like the go invisible. It's cool, and the jump, it's very flexible. It gets me around the map better. But I don't know if that's what I want right now. But I don't know if I want a yellow cube. I really don't want another yellow cube, but I guess like it's just an extra cube I can use on other stuff too. I guess it's not the end of the world. There are too many options, but this is part of the fun of these games, right? It feels overwhelming, and it does take a while, and it can be really create some analysis paralysis, but it like feels good. Like it feels like you're getting more loot, and you're evolving, you're growing and improving, and that's like one of the reasons I love playing campaign games. Sacrifice Mel and get all the loot. Okay, now that's an option.
I was just curious, like if we're both hidden, like do they just do nothing? Like if we're both stealthed?
Yeah.
I'm
assuming it'd be just a dead turn.
We can just be targeted by strike and darkness.
Oh, darkness can still get us?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. We're still scared of the dark,
and one of the guys we saw ignores stealth.
So then they would come at you.
There might be others that ignore stealth too. Or when the difficulty goes up on some of those guys, they'll gain that. Mel greater than any and all loot, says Mike James. This is common knowledge. Well, that's your opinion.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, it's a tough choice for you.
Very. Because if I'm the striker, I already have all these extra attacks.
Yep.
But they don't say knockdown and +3 damage.
True.
Yeah. But also the striker straight up kill.
Yeah, it's like straight 6 damage, and you can do it multiple times because you just recover your cube and you do
But
it.
they have to be 6 or less HP.
Yeah. Which is not terrible for him going later, right? If I can do some damage at the beginning and then Rob goes a little bit later and then he wipes him off the board, that's good teamwork right there. But again, you're doing 6. If you did that, that's also.
Yeah, but this might miss.
Yeah.
This doesn't miss.
Yep.
And
That's
because I'm playing a game with a D20, I would take the option of not rolling. Yeah.
The other thing I wonder, I don't know because we haven't played far enough, but I wonder if our weapons get better, right? Where they do more
There
damage,
are higher weapons,
but
yes.
the roll is higher.
I don't know.
You don't know?
Not sure.
Oh, okay.
You know what? I could cheat a little bit.
Look, I'm just
And we
curious.
just flip over this camp deck. Oh, there's a 9. There's a 7. There's a 9. 9. 7. 9. This is just the level 1 camp deck. Just not even seeing what they are.
I'm just curious because if
Level
that's the
2,
case,
level 2 deck. If I try to hide stuff, let's see if we can get to the weapons. If there are any weapons, 10, 8, 10, 8.
So the numbers
10,
do get higher.
8, 10, 8. Yep.
Okay.
And I'm sure even higher in the level 3 camp deck or whatever that's called.
Yeah. So that's when you need more passives that give you pluses.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm leaning to not rolling. So I'm taking one of these two. And I would think like, okay, this prevents and manipulates enemies.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, I always go back to, I believe very strongly in the best defense is a good offense.
Yeah.
So this, killing that enemy, I then don't even need to prevent or move it around if it's just dead.
Mm-hmm.
So this is how I'm going to go with it. Hopefully that works out, but I'm taking Striker 3. The color cube, I see HD Bone Doc is saying take a blue cube. I like that.
You want a blue one?
I do like blue cubes, yes.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm going for this attack. So I'm taking a yellow cube. Because I think it's going to be...
Yeah, it feels so good. I love getting more cubes. I like already am addicted.
Yeah.
And I haven't even used an extra cube. But just having more cubes means less like running out of, you could just do more on multiple turns before you have to do the whole recover. And
Yep.
it doesn't make it harder to do the willing thing, but I like it. I like it. It's great. It's fun, fun, fun.
Oh, I think my one defender card was in there.
I can just go here. All right. So I'm now improved striker. Oh, I missed a skeleton. Did I put him in somewhere? Oh, he's right. Skelly and Shadow Vampire. Okay. Don't lose my enemies. All right. So that's that. And we're ready to go on to scenario 2, which will happen in the next episode. And we'll schedule that episode, and you'll find that episode when it is scheduled or after it happens or any of the future episodes. Check the video description down below. There's a playlist section, and in there will be a playlist link you can click on that'll bring you to the playlist on YouTube in our playlist section where you can watch the playlist. I'm trying to think of other ways to say playlist again, but I just brain farted. Anyways, so all the episodes will be in the playlist. That's how we do it here. So if you're looking for other campaign games like this, best spot to find it is maybe go into our main page, search for the game you're looking for that we played in the past or in the future if you're watching this far in the future. Or check the playlist tab on our YouTube page, and you'll find lots of playlists for all different games, story games, one-off games, light games, heavy games, whatever. But we do like our fantasy dungeon crawling campaign games are kind of like my jam. One of my favorite things to do. So yeah, if you're looking for more of that, you can set reminders and stuff when that's scheduled. Or the best way is subscribe, turn on notifications. So make sure you get notified when we go live again. And also, and again, thank you for any help you're watching later, leaving in the comments below, any help on mistakes, strategy tips, recommendations, your thoughts, how you felt about the game, help other people learn from our mistakes or learn from your opinion, whether the game's for them or not, that kind of stuff. Feel free to drop that in the comments below. Thank you for hitting the like button. 75 freaking likes already. That's awesome.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
Thank you.
Eileen's here. Hello, Eileen. Good to see you again. Says, well, I've been playing this wrong. I've only took cubes when I took hero cards. the one with the character pictures, and only the cube matching the card color. Eileen, we could be wrong.
No. It is. You get the cube.
Pass the book. We can check because it is. We should know. And you're bringing it up and you're not sure. I'm not sure either. So like, let's find out actually right now. We have the rule book here. Yeah. Before we go, we can figure this out because I do want to know, and it would be good. So let's look up.
I think on page 19 is winning and losing the campaign or an adventure. Wondering if it's that.
I know at the beginning, like in the game basics.
Okay, let me see if I can.
Yeah, you look. Yeah, let's check 19, but then after that, let's check. I feel like you might be right. That seems like the most common place it would be. Or the most likely place. Okay, there's your item breakdown for the chess deck. The camp phase. Oh yeah, there's the winning or losing. So 5 curse cubes, 1 trauma, 6 curse cubes. We're right about that. Maybe right here. Action cubes, status cubes, and recall actions. Maybe. I don't see. I'm not sure. I don't think it's there. I think it'll be like more in like page 50 says Yogi. Yeah, I appreciate the help, guys. It's like I don't have this rule book very memorized where things are. Here we go. Learning new hero skills and acquiring new action cubes. Age of Darkness skills are separated into 3 categories. Initial skills, which the characters start with the game with, level 1 and level 2. Skills are learned progressively. That is, you cannot learn a level 2 skill if you have not yet learned a level 1 skill of that same type. Dungeon roles are also included in this rule. Hero skill rewards have a specific skill level. Heroes can't choose. Okay. When learning a new hero skill, the hero also receives a new action cube that matches the color of that skill's type. Not the skill itself, but the type. Mm-hmm. So whether it's in the category melee or whatever, even if that skill is passive, that is, if they choose to learn a melee skill, they'll receive a yellow action cube. Okay, so it has to match the category, not the actual color. When a hero learns a new dungeon roll skill, they may choose the color of the cube they want to receive instead, which can be any color. So even if it's a 2-color dungeon roll, you can pick, if it's a red and yellow like I had, I can pick blue, green, no problem. So any color you want. Don't feel like you're locked in. So that's the advantage of taking a dungeon roll, is you can take any color you need for your skills, your other skills, not your dungeon roll even. So it can help just build you out. So note on your campaign log which color you've chosen. But we just keep it in our box and save it.
Yeah, but I think because it's saying you can later choose to change the color when you change your dungeon roll.
That I know, true. It's very flexible. So it's like, yeah, you can change your dungeon roll later, and like we might house rule it where like, oh, based on some skill, we play with it, we don't like it, we could just like take a different level 1 skill. Like I'm not gonna lock it in that hard.
So I guess they're saying that cube is tied to that card. But
yeah,
I mean,
but it's like,
you could just change it for the next one.
Yeah, we'll do whatever. It's fine. Okay, so yeah, Yogi's right. Yeah. Top of page 51, and then Eileen says, "Thanks, Yogi, and both. I need to go get more cubes. I took no cubes taking dungeon cards. Oh, that will change. I think like
you're playing on hard mode.
Yeah, because that does add. And I read that online when I was looking up rules for this game. That was one of the problems. Some people say it's really the game's too hard. Some people say it's too easy. But the common answer to that question is it's not. It's you will find you're doing rules wrong.
Yeah.
And even in the rule book, it tells you your first few times, don't get stressed, just do it best you can, and keep going back to the rules is the tip I saw online. And I've made this tip before, and all these games are like 50 plus rules. Play the game once or twice, and then go back to the rules and read it with a fresh set of eyes, and things will pop off the page that you're like, oh crap, I forgot about that. I wasn't doing that, or I did that wrong, or that actually works this way. And you'll find out after a few cycles of that, you'll then be playing the game correctly at the right difficulty. Because games like this with so many options, just you doing a couple tokens wrong, like resolving burn incorrectly or poison incorrectly, like maybe you're not healing all of it off with the cleanse, or healing just a curse cube and not the poison, or one or the other. You can totally swing the difficulty of these games one way or the other completely wrong, not just based on your dice rolling. So that's a common thing I find with these games. I see this game as definitely you can fall into that trap. So don't feel bad. It's like we're going to do it too, where we make the game too easy or too hard in certain situations based on misunderstanding something.
Oh, Eileen's only halfway through the campaign, so that can be fixed. That's good.
Oh, okay. Wow.
We're glad that you.
The fact you made it halfway through the campaign missing, I don't know, I'm assuming a couple cubes each.
At least it could be up to 2, right?
Yeah, because I think you can only go twice up more, right? That makes me feel a little better that we can make mistakes and like not completely die from bad strategy.
Yeah.
So that's good. Gives us a little wiggle room. That's great. But yeah, glad we figured that one out because that's important. So yeah. Anyways, so far so good. It's just the initial scenario. I'm not going to make huge judgments on the game or anything based on this, but I'm looking forward to where this game's going. So if you want to enjoy the ride with us, stay tuned. We're going to be playing more of it. I'll schedule that next stream shortly, and we'll see where it goes. But I'm looking forward to some of the surprises. We've not even scratched all the juicy items in all those decks, so I need to see some new loot. I need to see how powerful we get. I need to see how crazy some of the enemies get, the commanders, the bosses. Like, yeah, I can't wait to see where this game goes. And hopefully it's a fun ride, and you'll join us on that ride. But yeah, thank you all for watching the video, spending time with us, correcting us, comments, all that stuff. We appreciate it. And we'll see you in the next stream. And Keith, you too. Have a good day. Everyone else, you have a great day. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.